Yellow Jacket Hockey is on the air from Westman Arena on the campus of the University of Wisconsin-Superior, where tonight the Yellow Jackets are going to try to get back in the win column as they play host to the Royals from Bethel University. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Yellow Jacket Hockey pregame show sponsored by National Bank of Commerce. I am John Garver, and I would have said something along the lines of, the Yellow Jacket Hockey is back, but talking with Coach, hockey didn't happen last night, and that was kind of one of the points he drove home with me, is that we didn't even play last night. So apparently it's the first game of the weekend, because he found last night to be unsatisfactory of even the term hockey. So the first hockey game of the weekend is happening here tonight. That didn't even come up in the interview. I mean, that was just the stuff he gave me beforehand. I wish I would have had the whole thing rolling the entire time. But that should let you know just what happened here last night. It was a performance. Yeah, you still call it hockey, but it was a performance that wouldn't be worthy of being called Yellow Jacket Hockey, especially the incarnation of Yellow Jacket Hockey we have seen over the last few years. It was a very uncharacteristic outing by this particular team, and the coaching staff let the players know about it. The players let the players know about it. It was a very lengthy meeting and video session today, and I would be shocked if this team does not come out looking more like the team we saw win the WIAC a year ago than what we saw here last night. They're going to be taking on a Bethel team that is going to have some scars of their own from last night, as they took a beating down at UW Stout, losing 8-2 in that one, falling behind 4-0 in the first period. So, yeah, Coach McKelvey's Charges also feeling a little bit beaten up after last night's game. So you got two teams here that coming in a bit on the angry side, coming in after playing uncharacteristic hockey from what they have seen earlier in the season, and both of them looking to figure out a way to get back to their winning ways. And Coach says it in the interview. I'll say it here as well. He says, one of two things is going to happen tonight. He goes, really, there's only one way this is all going to go down. One team is going to get back on track, and one is going to have everything compounded a little bit more, and they're going to have to do a little more soul-searching and unfortunately have to wait for an entire week to get back on the ice. So very pivotal contest here, and you hate to look at Game 5 in a regular season and go, man, this is kind of do or die here, because the whole season is kind of riding on this. But at the same time, this is one of those games where you're going to learn what this team is made of here and how they respond to what happened here last night. So it's going to be a very interesting contest that we are going to be able to bring to you here tonight at Westman Arena. A lot more to come on the pregame show. We will have Jason Rowan's keys to the game. We will have an opportunity to catch up with Coach McKenna, and it's amazing that he gave me over 8 minutes tonight, because the interview is basically done in about 2.5. We have a conversation with sophomore forward Cade Shea, starting lineups, all that and more, as the pregame show sponsored by National Bank of Commerce continues right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. Last night here at Westman Arena, the Yellow Jackets opened the home campaign on the losing end of things, a 3-1 loss to the College of St. Scholastica, and something that we kind of beat to death a little bit last night. It's going to get beaten up a little bit more in the pregame show here as well, as it was arguably it was easily the worst performance of this hockey season, arguably the poorest performance of the last 2 hockey seasons, and according to Coach, one of the worst of his entire 10-year career as the head coach of the Yellow Jackets. So we are not exaggerating when we talk about this was just a really lousy performance by the Yellow Jackets last night. They opened the scoring, however. Coach said there's no positives. Well, we did score first. That one coming at 9:18. Cade Shea blocking the shot, getting in on a partial breakaway, snapping a shot left circle past goaltender Aino Reason and giving the Yellow Jackets the 1-0 lead. However, St. Scholastica with an answer right away at 11:32. First goal of the season for Andrew Cumming. It's still up for debate whether it was intentional or not. My feeling is Coach is saying that was an unintentional play. I look at it and go, he was on the backhand, so I don't think it was an intentional play. But at any rate, Kenan Riles banks it out the side of the net. It comes right up the slot. Andrew Cumming scores his first. That was at 11:32, and the game was tied after 1. In the second period, the Yellow Jackets coughed it up for good at 8:05 when Riley Giroux scored off of a faceoff. They won the draw clean, and he just stepped into it and fired it past Jack Boschert for his first of the season at 8:05. That made it 2-1. And then at 13:01, Giroux strikes again, this time getting the puck up the slot when Jack Boschert was looking the other direction, wasn't sure where the puck was when it was behind the net below the goal line. He gets it in the slot and buries it for his second of the game. That was at 13:01. 3-1 Saints after 2, no scoring in the third period. Not because the Jackets didn't have a territorial advantage when you look at the power plays they were on and with the goaltender out. They spent a lot of offensive zone time, but as it was the common theme throughout the night, they spent a lot of time in the offensive zone on the perimeter, just kind of racing around the outside, moving the puck around the outside, and not really doing what they had to do to get traffic in front of Reason, not doing what they had to do to get bodies to the net to make things difficult. They were not a difficult team to play against last night, I guess is a very easy way to say it. So they end up falling in that one 3-1. They were outshot 25-23. Jack Boschert took the loss. He made 14 saves on 17 shots through 40 minutes before Jan Skorpik came in and made 8 saves in the third. Elsewhere around the WIAC, we also already mentioned that Stout defeated Bethel 8-2. It was Concordia defeating UW Eau Claire 4-1. St. John's defeating UW River Falls 4-2. So Stout saving the WIAC last night with the MIAC schools doing some damage on the Wisconsin counterparts here last evening. And then Beloit got its first ever win, defeating Hiram 6-1 in a game that started well after ours had last night. Games going on this evening. Actually, one already completed this afternoon. Beloit and Hiram skated to a 3-3 tie. I do not know what happened in the shootout or if there was one, but that one ending in a 3-3 tie. And elsewhere around the WIAC tonight, we have St. John's at UW Stout, Augsburg is at Eau Claire, and Concordia is at UW River Falls. A very big sports day going on at UW Superior. Unfortunately for UW Superior, it hasn't been an overly successful day. As the soccer teams were in the NCAA tournament, they have both been eliminated with first-round losses against teams that were ranked in the top 10 nationally. The cross-country season came to an end today at the NCAA North Regional. We'll expand on all this a little bit later on in the broadcast as well. The women's basketball team falling on the road at Hamlin today, and the men's basketball team losing to Coe at the UW Platteville tournament. So leaving it up to the Yellow Jackets and to the Yellow Jacket volleyball team to try to make some positive things happen over the course here of this Saturday. About 22.5 away from the drop of the puck between the Yellow Jackets and Bethel. We'll take a timeout when we come back here on the Yellow Jacket Hockey pregame show sponsored by National Bank of Commerce. You aren't going to want to miss this. It's my conversation with Yellow Jacket head coach Rich McKenna. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. Hockey pregame show sponsored by National Bank of Commerce. It's Saturday night. The Yellow Jackets back home to getting ready to take on Bethel. I am John Garver, and as always, we're joined by Yellow Jacket head coach Rich McKenna. And you've been dreading this all day. I've been dreading this all day, but we got to dive into it. Really rough outing for your team last night.
Awful. Thank God there was boards, because we were so perimeter last night. We would have been in the parking lot, and no one would have been able to see the game. It was terrible. We refused to get to the inside. They packed it in. I mean, like, they had 20 block shots, so they probably had another 15 to 20 disrupted shots with their sticks. So that's 40 plays to the net that never even got past the first layer, and it was ugly. It was really ugly.
Perimeter play really stood out to us. Stood out on the power play. Stood out especially, though, at the end when you had the goaltender out and you had the extra attacker on. It felt like you were just kind of doing laps around the outside. A lot of puck movement around the outside, but no urgency to get the puck to the middle and get the puck to the net.
I'm pretty sure they outchanced us shots on our open net than we did to their net on that. I mean, we pulled them with 5 minutes to go. I think we had, 2 shots on net? Something like that? Like, if I could have crawled into a bag last night on the bench, I would have.
They're giving me visions of the New Orleans Saints fans from the 1970s when they were wearing the bags on their heads. At the same time, the physical aspect wasn't there at all either. And I know that you were talking a little bit before the game about we need to play physically. We need to make sure that we're doing the right things along the boards. We need to make sure we're doing the right things in front of the nets. That wasn't something that was present either.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know I spent $17,000 on pool noodles. Like, there was no positives last night. It was really that bad. It might have been one of the worst games I think I've ever coached here. To expand. It was really that bad. Like, we played with pool noodles last night in the parking lot. Like, that pretty much sums up the whole thing.
For people who aren't here and are listening right now, I'm nodding along, and in my mind I'm going, okay, he's kind of blown a hole in about every question I was going to ask here today, so I really don't know where to go with all of this. So instead, let's just turn the page then, because now you got a Bethel team coming in that they got blasted last night too. They got beat up really bad at UW Stout. You got two teams probably that are dying for a little bit of a reset here. So this is kind of a night I think they probably would agree with the same thing. You're going to learn what your team is about tonight.
Yeah, 2 things are going to happen tonight. One team is going to right the ship and get it going, and the other team's going to compound their problems. That's really what it comes down to tonight. Talking with Mac, you know, he's a great coach, great family man. I know he did everything he could to prepare his team. I know we did everything we could to prepare our team. Now it's up to the players to kind of like execute, play with a little bit of passion, play with a little bit of grit, test those 75 flex sticks and see if they're willing to go to the dirty areas, and that's about it. And, you know, if not, it's going to be a very long, boring game. And, you know, but those are the only 2 outcomes tonight. One team's going to compound their problems. The other team's probably going to get back to their winning ways.
You had an opportunity, I'm sure, to watch a little bit of film on their game last night. So what did you see out of that, if there's anything you can take out of an 8-2 loss?
Well, I think, you know, I don't think they had their best game. Like, you know, we all play a little bit of cat and mouse. Like, hey, how'd last night go? And we all know how it went. You know, he watched our tape and I watched their tape. And well, we both question, it's not so much about what the other team's doing. It's more about, like, what team do I have showing up here? And hopefully we have the right team showing up and we play our game. And because, again, like, there's things that are controllable, and, you know, as much as there's a recipe to win and have success, there's also a way to lose. Hey, sometimes you just got to tip your cap. Like, that was a great game. 2 teams went at it. The other team finished one more chance than you, but it was a hard-fought game. You can live with that as a coach. That debacle that happened last night, that probably took a few years off the old lifespan there.
Bethel has a pretty special forward named Tyler Brasini, who's got a third of their goals scored on the year. Really good skater. He's got a good shot to go along with that. How do you slow a guy like him down?
Again, don't hit him with a noodle. You got to get after him and get in his face, and you get a chance to get a lick, take a chunk out of him when you play above him. Respect your opponent, but at the end of the day, if you force him to defend, a guy like that probably makes it more of a power play in the offensive zone when he's playing defense than even it out. So you gotta, we can't be afraid to throw the first punch here tonight. And when you get punched, you're not made of glass. Like, you're not gonna break. You gotta bounce back. Like, a lot of punches that went thrown tonight, in all honesty.
Made a goaltending change after the second period last night. Jan kind of came in and settled things down on the back end. Kind of gave you guys the opportunity to get your feet under you a little bit, so to speak, in the third period. Going back with him tonight?
Yeah, we'll roll with Jan tonight. Again, like, we made dumb mistakes in front of Jack. To me, like, they didn't give us any of those chances. We gave them theirs. Like, first goal, we had a back checker. We were right next to him, and we swung off. Back in the net, 1-1 now. And then second one, a freshman banks a puck off the side of the net, goes right to the guy. We don't have a guy even around him. Then the next one, like, I think that was the third goal. I'm sorry. Was that the first goal? Okay, so that. Yeah. Oh yeah, the face-off. That was awesome. We had makes me even more nuts. Like, man up. And then we gave an easy one to the net in the second goal of the second period. So, I don't even remember the question, actually.
It's a good place to leave it. Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck.
Take care, Garbs.
The always colorful Rich McKenna, the head coach of the Yellow Jackets in his 10th season. I told you it was a dandy interview. All of a sudden you're going pool noodles and all these other things going on. So, yeah, it was quite the conversation with the Yellow Jacket head coaches in his 10th season. 112 wins, 105 losses, and 20 ties is his all-time record. All-time against Bethel, he is 4-2-0, 2-1 here at home. Last time the Yellow Jackets defeated Bethel, you got to go back to November 11th of 2022. They were on the road, and they won that one 1-0. C.J. Walker scoring early in the third period, the lone goal in that one. Dylan Milan pitching his first collegiate shutout in that one as well. Chris McKelvey, the head coach of Bethel in his 8th season, his record 62, 82-14, and Bethel has won the last 2 meetings, including a 4-3 victory down in the Twin Cities last year right around this time. And I think probably one of those games that if I go back and listen to his pregame interview from the next game, Coach was going to say that was probably one of our worst efforts. So the game at Bethel last year was not a good effort whatsoever for the Yellow Jackets, but not a good effort in terms of effort, a good effort in terms of performance and result. Time now for our keys to the game. Jason, what you got, man?
All right, first key tonight, who scores first? We've got 2 frustrated teams. Whoever gets that first goal tonight, that's going to be a big lift. Obviously, it didn't work for UWS last night, scoring first, but then not scoring after that. And for Bethel, they were down 4-0 by the end of the first period. So they dug themselves a hole. They did the opposite thing that UWS did. But with 2 frustrated teams coming in, like you heard from Coach McKenna earlier in the pregame show, one of these teams is going to come out of here feeling better about themselves, and one of them is going to be doing a lot more soul searching. Getting that first goal is going to give one of these 2 frustrated teams a really big lift tonight. John just got blinded by the strobes.
Right in the eyes. Wow.
Second key to the game.
I'm seeing that little green dot all over the place right now.
Sniper.
Whoa.
Second key to the game tonight is for UWS to handle the puck better. We talked about it during last night's broadcast. There were a lot of passes in the feet, a lot of passes that were bobbled. UWS needs to be able to put those passes on the tape more often tonight. They've got to be able to move the puck quicker, not have to overhandle it, not have to dust it off. That'll help them be able to get more shots through, fewer shots blocked, things like that. So for UWS, the second key tonight is to play better with the puck. Last but not least, third key, this one's for Bethel. It's all about Tyler Brasini. I mean, he had 15 shots over his last 2 games, only 1 goal. That's a bit of a dry spell for him. He was their leading goal scorer last year, scored 19 goals. He's obviously the catalyst for this offense. And as he goes, to a certain extent, that's how this Bethel team goes. And you heard Coach McKenna talk about that as well. Like, clearly, you're going to have to be aware when he's on the ice and do what you need to do against him. And for Bethel's sake, if he scores a goal, if he has a big night, that's definitely going to lead to good things for the Royals.
And he's a guy, too, I remember from a year ago, he had we played them on a Saturday afternoon down there. And in the Friday game, he had a hat trick. I think he potted 2 against us. He's a dynamic skater. He can really shoot, and you know when he is on the ice. It's a given. You notice him the second he steps on the ice. So they will always know when Tyler Brasini is out there. There is no doubt about that. Time now to take a look at the starting lineups in this one. First for the Yellow Jackets, it's going to be Jan Skorpik getting the starting goal. The 6'1", 170-pound senior from Czechia, making his 4th appearance on the season, 3rd start. He has a 2-0 record of 1.31 goals against average, a .947 save percentage, and 1 shutout, and is the go-to when they decided to pull Jack Boschert after 2 periods last night.
Was good coming out of the bullpen.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Starting 5 in front of him, the defense pair, no shock there. Tyler Ryder and Matt Danziger, the forward line. Justin Dauphiné with Daniel Roosevelt on the right wing and Iki Kagawa on the left wing. Other forward lines tonight, Chris Ishmael will have Blake Setter on the right wing and Cade Shea on the left. Carson Riddle will have Logan Nickerson on the right wing, back in the lineup after a couple games out for him. And A.J. Reed on the left wing, and then Andrew Larson will have Austin Paul on the right side, and Rupe Tuomiosa. Man! It's too many letters, too many syllables. He'll be on the left side. The other defense pairs tonight, Dusty Bergstrom and Evan Axel, so he's back in the lineup, and then Jordan Gibbs along with Liam Whitehouse and the extra skater Alexei Yermolnik backing up Jan Skorpik, Kobe Grant, and Jack Boschert. Starting goaltender tonight for Bethel University is Marco Doronio, a 5'11" senior out of Rochester, Michigan, making his 2nd appearance on the season. He's 0-1, has a 2.09 goals against average and a .947 save percentage. So apparently today's game is brought to you by the numbers 9, 4, and 7, because both goalies come in with .947 save percentage. There's your useless nugget for the day. The officials for tonight's game, as assigned by the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, same crew as last night. Referees Andrew Liebert and Brett Klazowski, linesman Kyle Schultz, and Jace Friedlieb. We're about 7 minutes away from the start of this one between the Yellow Jackets and Bethel. We'll take a timeout when we come back. We will catch up with sophomore forward Cade Shea. You are listening to Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network.
Second goal of the season for you last night, Cade. Good block shot, win the race to the puck. Kind of take us through the play.
Yeah, I was just trying to stay disciplined in the D zone and get a stick on the puck. I went at him pretty hard, and he ended up hitting my stick and going off my shin, and then he misread the play, and I had a chance to go on a little semi-breakaway with the other defenseman trailing me, and saw an opening and took the shot. Worked out for me, so.
I know sometimes people ask, did you pick the spot, did it go, or you just fired the puck and hope for the best? But it seemed like you definitely had a spot you were aiming for.
Yeah, I came in and I saw a little opening in the top left and decided to go for it, and it worked out, so, yeah.
2 goals in the first 4 games for you now, and it's got to be such a dramatic departure from last year because of the injury issues and everything last year. Are you feeling 100% like your old self, or is there still some of that nagging with you?
Definitely not feeling like 100%. I'm still building off of, having almost a full season of something going on with an injury. So, I mean, I still got a lot to give here, and I'm excited to see myself kind of grow, but definitely night and day between last year and this year. So,
how frustrating was that?
It was pretty frustrating, just waking up one morning and not being able to go, and then the next morning you feel great, and then 2 days later it's terrible again. So just the inconsistency, and it's not like you can control anything like that. So not being able to control your health is really tough. So to be healthy now is just a blessing. So.
It really hit me when I have watched what you went through on that bus ride to Boston and back, because most guys are laying around sleeping and you're getting up, you're stretching, you're adjusting positions, you're laying in one spot, you're laying in another. It was a lot for you just to make that trip.
Yeah, and coming off a Christmas break and Boston being the first thing we were doing, I was really trying to gear my body up to be able to make a game in, and doing everything it could take, and I just wasn't ready yet, obviously, and it was detrimental to my mental health, just being, out like that. It stinks, it's not fun. So, like I said, this year just being healthy, we took a couple bus trips. I was pretty nervous about that, as you could imagine. And just being healthy, throughout those bus trips, I'm okay, now I can just go out and play hockey. I don't need to worry about that anymore. I can just play. So, it's great.
Bethel coming in tonight now, they're a club that got beat up pretty good by UW Stout last night. You guys coming off of easily the most disappointing performance of the year, probably of the last couple of seasons. So what adjustments do you guys make tonight?
Yeah, we kind of got away from our game plan a little bit. We haven't been putting a lot of pucks on the net. I think we're averaging right around 24, so that's something we're going to key in on tonight, trying to get pucks behind their D, get pucks on the net, and just stick to our systems. That's going to be the goal for us, and 2 teams that are going to be very hungry tonight, looking for a bounce-back win, so it's going to be a good one.
Has been played, and teams will go through their final paces here, gather around their respective goaltenders, and we will be seconds away from the drop of the puck here at Westman Arena tonight. John Garver and Jason Roan with you. I swear to God, Abby Hoffman is ringside. And at some point tonight, we are going to hear from her. Had a quick chat with Coach going, just a reminder that we have a sideline reporter, a ringside reporter, that would like to ask you a question or two at some point. And he looked at me and just said, I totally forgot. Clearly.
Well, we've got that all straightened out.
But she is back with us for another evening, so we look forward to getting Abby on the air at the end of this period, hopefully with a few more good things to talk about with coach and or player, because as Coach said in the pregame, there were no positives last night, not one, aside from the fact that we had a sideline reporter for the first time this season. Jan Skorpic defending the goal to our right, or left, excuse me. Your lefts and rights are hard. And the Yellow Jackets back in the home yellow sweaters with the white and black trim will be going from left to right here in this opening 20 minutes. At the other end, Marco Doronio defends the goal to our right. Justin Dauphiné stepping in to take the face-off. He'll do the honors with Logan Anderson as a pair of number 10s do battle. And we are underway here at Westman Arena. The opening face-off is sponsored by Barker's Island Inn, Northern Wisconsin's Island Getaway. And it sees the Yellow Jackets on the attack with Roosevelt along the end board. Gives it to Justin Dauphiné. He tries to get away from a check and catches up to the puck in the left corner. Now he bangs it around the boards, back over to the right wing side. Roosevelt tied up there. Kagawa in to help out. Bethel will come away with the puck. Spencer Kring's got it here. Carries it right up the middle and somehow was able to get through that without losing the puck. Very dangerous play. Now Anderson the other way. A shot and a save is made by Skorpic as that one catches him high on the shoulder. And back the other way come the Yellow Jackets to center. Iki Kagawa across the red line. He'll play it in. And Bethel comes back on the attack. Kagawa loses an edge. Jackets have to tag up as he vacates the zone. Puck back behind the Bethel net. It's going to be moved over to the right wing boards. Jackets stepping up to break up that play is Dusty Bergstrom, and it's going to be dumped back down into the Bethel zone. Doronio passes it over to the right wing side. And on the forecheck, Ishmael for the Yellow Jackets. It gets to the line, but not out. It's driven back down behind the net. Doronio out. Over to the left wing side for Chase Beacom. Now ahead on the right wing. It's tipped into the Yellow Jacket zone by Connor Brazil. Out of the net to play that one, Skorpic. He wraps it around the left side, and Cade Shea's got it now. Shea for the Yellow Jackets plays it into the Bethel zone, giving chases Jamison O'Flynn in to help out. And now it comes loose to the left side of the net. And dropping down to cover that one up, Doronio. That was kind of strange because it looked like everybody and the puck were moving behind the net. The next thing you know, it's at the left post.
Yeah, it works out well for the Yellow Jackets. Offensive zone face-off here. One thing we've seen right away, not playing with pool noodles thus far. The forecheck has been more aggressive. Chris Ishmael was hard stick on stick, and the forecheck as the F1 there. UWS coming out more assertively on the forecheck.
That could be one of my favorite nuggets he's ever dropped in a pregame interview. Gibbs from the left point takes a shot off the face-off. That gets through, and the save is made. And now some pushing and shoving in front of the net as A.J. Reed and Logan Nickerson are mixing it up, and referee Brett Klazowski blows that whistle hard a few times. Skates in and lets them know that that will not be tolerated tonight. We are not going to play that way.
And I would assume this officiating crew knows what's coming tonight,
I have a hunch they saw one game and know the result of the other. So, yeah, you got two teams that are kind of cornered here right now. At the left point, Gibbs carries down the wall to the left corner behind the net. He's taken hard into the end boards, loses the puck. The clearing attempt is held on the right side by Liam Whitehouse, who pushes it down low. Then it hits something and kicked right back up the boards. And the Royals are going to clear that out into the neutral zone. Now down into the Yellow Jacket end of the ice. Getting plastered in the corner was Jordan Gibbs. And the arm goes up. It looks like the Yellow Jackets are going to go to an early power play here as he got smoked into the boards in the right wing corner of the Yellow Jacket zone. And he is on all fours right now. And we are wondering, is he going to get up? And the only hockey game she does all year, athletic trainer Kirsten Hefner coming out and gets halfway out and now has to be brought back. Guys, she's pregnant. We don't need to be doing that to Kirsten. At any rate, it looks like the Jackets are about to head to the power play. Referees Brett Klazowski and Andrew Liebert are going to have a discussion, probably to talk about what penalty it is and how many minutes will be attached to it.
Jeremiah Conkle is the guilty party here, the junior forward from Bloomington, Minnesota.
It is a 2-minute minor, and it appears it's going to be for boarding. And is the indication that I saw Brett Klazowski give. So the Yellow Jackets are going to get an early power play here. Time of the penalty, 2:03 on Conkle. The Yellow Jacket power play sponsored by Superior Water, Light, and Power. Clean, reliable, Superior. That is SWLP. Yellow Jacket power play coming into the game, 21.4% on this campaign. They have scored 3 goals in 14 chances. The Bethel penalty kill, 82.4%. As they have killed off 14 of 17 shorthanded opportunities. Jackets win the faceoff now. This is Gibbs now to Reed. Quickly over the left circle. Ishmael takes the shot. Had his stick hit as he was shooting, so that one just slides wide of the net. Now Gibbs feeds Ishmael left point. Ishmael down low left of the net for Nickerson. Logan Nickerson on the left wing sends it over to Reed. Now up top for Gibbs. Back over to the right circle, Reed. Over to the left circle, Nickerson. Now good puck movement here, but still no shots to be seen. One-timer by Reed. He misses just wide to the left, and then the carom is going to be out of the reach of Ishmael and come all the way down. Yellow Jackets will be forced to regroup with 40 seconds elapsed here in this first power play. I love the quick puck movement, though. They're not letting the Killers get set up.
Yeah, Jackets got a couple good looks there.
Up the left wing now. This is Roosevelt across the line. He gets taken into the boards and loses the puck, but it's held in by Ryder at the blue line. He'll walk it down the left boards now. Ryder feeds behind the net. Roosevelt out front. Dauphiné hops his stick on the doorstep. Roosevelt is shot at a big save by Deronio. Danziger made a great pass over to the right circle, and it was a wide open net for Roosevelt, but he whiffed on it.
Yeah, another great chance for the Yellow Jackets there. Really good-looking power play for UWS so far. That all started with Tyler Ryder being in the right place at the right time, being able to hold that puck in at the blue line.
Yeah, Roosevelt was wide open there in the right circle, and you could see the play coming. But Deronio got across, and it was the beneficiary of Roosevelt not getting all of it. Peterson for Bethel. Sends it behind the net for Yellum, and he'll wrap that hard around the right wing all the way down the ice. Skorpic out, and we get a whistle, and the puck was played to the high stick, so that'll bring the face-off back here in Yellow Jacket territory.
Dauphiné tipped that clearing attempt, trying to knock it down in the neutral zone, and used the high stick on the tip, and then when Skorpic touched it, that necessitated the high stick call.
44 seconds left in the power play here. 16:40 remaining opening period. No score between the Yellow Jackets and Bethel. John Garver, Jason Rowan, Abby Hoffman with you from Westman Arena on this unseasonably warm Saturday. At center, Kagawa on the right wing sends it in. Deronio out of the net. Wraps it around the left side. Kagawa couldn't knock it down. Royals clear. Ryder had it for a moment, then Max Hamstad takes it away from him and sends it down into Yellow Jacket territory. Ryder circles from the net, gives to Danziger on the right wing. He picks up speed, gets across the red and sends it in. Roosevelt chasing it down. Clearing attempt picked off on the left wing. Kagawa now. He leaves from the left corner. Roosevelt up top at the blue line. Ryder, Danziger, left circle. Mishandles, gets it back, feeds behind the net for Roosevelt. It's swept off his stick. And O'Flynn's got it here for Bethel, and they're going to have numbers heading back the other way. To center, it's Jack Brown across the line. Over to Brasini, left circle, back over to the right side. Ill-advised pass there by Brasini, and Ryder takes it back the other way. He feeds Roosevelt, who flips it in. Deronio steers that into the left wing corner. Now McIsaac for Bethel. Sends that one ahead. Peyton Blair carries up the right wing, dumps it into the Yellow Jacket zone. First one there. Evan Axel wraps it around to the right side. Now Bergstrom has it for the Jackets. Passes behind his net to the left. Axel up for Tuo Mioksa on the left wing. That one broken up. Axel follows the play and gets it to the Bethel line, but no further. So Logan Anderson on the left wing boards dumps it into Yellow Jacket territory. Axel up the left wing. Tuo Mioksa wanted Larson, but it was out of his reach, and Bethel regains control as we pass the 5-minute mark of this opening period. No score between the Yellow Jackets and Bethel. In the left wing corner, Yellow Jacket zone is picked up there by Axel. Feeds it ahead for Austin Paul on the right wing. Paul crosses the red and flips it in. It's going to be played by Deronio right back up ice. Connor Brazil up the left wing into the Yellow Jacket zone. Sends it deep. Conkle taken off the play behind the net by Gibbs. Conkle gets it back. Wraparound attempt goes right through the goal crease. Ends up on the right side. Now behind the net to the left wing. Conkle's got it. Gets away from Whitehouse. Conkle tried to shoot from a sharp angle, but that one was broken up. Svendal has it in the right wing corner, Passes behind the net for Conkle. Now up top for Beacom. Chase Beacom's shot's going to get blocked. Austin Paul's got it now. Plays it behind his net. It hops over the stick of Gibbs. Gibbs regains control and sends it up the left wing. It's tipped to the middle. Ishmael picks it up. He's 1 on 5, and he'll flip it in. Reinforcements coming in the form of Blake Setter. It comes around the boards, left wing side. Shea intercepts, goes behind the net for Setter. Setter hits the brakes along the end boards, gets away from the check up top, left point Ryder. Right point Danziger, stick handles away from one man. He's going to throw it back down behind the net for Shea, who lets it go. It comes to the left corner now. Setter right back over to the right wing corner. Coming down from the right point, Danziger. Pokes it behind the net. Setter's got it there. He gets bumped on the play. Gets away from the check. Setter now turns and fires. That one gets through. Loose puck picked up, and Bethel's going to come back on the attack. It's dumped in from center. Icing waved off. On the right wing boards now, it's picked up Chris Ishmael for the Jackets across the red. He dumps it in. Comes hard around to the left wing side. Shea coming down the boards. Had it for a moment. Ishmael in to help out as they tie up on the half board. It comes to the line. Nickerson holds the zone. Bethel regaining control here now. Hamsted's got it. Max Hamsted for Bethel across the red line. Feeds it for Sawicki on the left wing. Long shot there, and it'll be gloved and held by Jan Skorpik. And we're going to get a face-off coming here in the Yellow Jacket zone. 12:59 to go here, opening period. Yellow Jackets and Bethel are scoreless.
Good start to this one for UWS. Very engaged. Doing a great job on the forecheck, keeping pucks alive. Skorpik's made a couple of good saves. All the things you want to see so far.
Everything but a goal.
True.
Logan Nickerson on the right wing's got it for the Jackets here. He sends it ahead. A.J. Reed giving chase. He collides with George Peterson. That could have been a penalty, but they do not call that. And Bethel will come back the other way. Peterson on the right wing. Native of Duluth, Minnesota. Plays it back, and then it's thrown up the right wing side down into the Yellow Jacket zone. A.J. Reed on the left wing tips it ahead looking for Carson Riddle. Unfortunately, Jack Brown got there first. Now the Jackets regaining control with Bergstrom. Gives to Nickerson, and he'll flip that one ahead. On the left wing boards, it's tied up just in front of the Bethel bench. I was a little concerned about a potential too many men penalty there, but Dusty Bergstrom was smart enough to get away from the bench and play the puck. Jackets dump it back into Bethel territory. Whitehouse leading the forecheck, collides with a man in the right corner, and it causes a turnover. Roosevelt sends it down low. Puck is behind the Bethel net. Kagawa giving chase. Berezowski comes out with it here. Berezowski turns it over now. This is Dauphiné left circle. Dauphiné walks it in, goes to the backhand, and just slips it wide to the right post. Held onto it in a 2-on-1 in tight. Had Kagawa with him as well. Now in the right wing corner, Kagawa's pass hits a skate. Dauphiné in to help out. 11.5 minutes to go, first period. Yellow Jackets and Bethel scoreless. Berezowski has it for Bethel. He clears to neutral ice. Royals come back across the Yellow Jacket line. Shot blocked by Gibbs. And he'll feed it ahead on the left for Kagawa, but that doesn't connect. It comes all the way down. Icing waved off. McIsaac starts it ahead on the right wing. Jackets able to break that one up. Roosevelt goes to dump it in, hits the linesman. And Beacom for Bethel gives it to Blair. And on the left wing, he flips it in. Behind the Yellow Jacket net, Ryder around the boards for Tuo Mioksa. Now in the middle for Larson. Ahead on the right wing, Yarmolnik. Alexei Yarmolnik drops it off for Danziger. Throws it to the front of the net. Deflected in front, and that one doesn't get all the way through. Pretty good deflection by Rupe Tuo Mioksa there, because that was a fluttering puck a little bit and not necessarily an easy one to make a play on. In the neutral zone, Yarmolnik sticks that one into Bethel territory. Kostelecki on the left wing gets it back and drives it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Picked up behind the goal, Ryder. He picks up speed on the left wing. Sidesteps a check. Loses the handle on it at the red line. And the Royals have numbers back the other way again. Sawicki across the line. Shot left circle. Saved by Skorpik. Sawicki again up top. Left point, Svendal. Kicks it into the middle now. A shot save is made. Rebound is there to the right of the net. Jackets able to break that one up. And Yarmolnik moves it ahead for Larson, but the pass was behind him. Couldn't get a stick on it, and Bethel gets it back. They do the Jackets a favor as they send it back the other way, and it's going to be icing on Bethel. Face-off coming here in the Royals zone. 9:59 remaining here in this opening period. Yellow Jackets and Bethel scoreless in what has been a really nicely played first 10 minutes.
It has almost backfired twice on UWS in terms of 2-on-1s the other way, but I like the aggressiveness out of the Yellow Jackets. They seem to be playing more free tonight.
Jackets control the face-off. Axel with a shot, and Deronio makes the save. Axel chases his own rebound down, gets it behind the net for Shea. Up top at the right point, Bergstrom pulls it off the wall. Leaves it for Ishmael now. Ishmael to the right wing corner. Stick handles behind the net. Loses the handle on that puck. Clearing attempt held in. Bergstrom from the left side. Plays it deep. Setter banks it off the side of the net as to lose the shot by Bergstrom, and Deronio makes the save. He'll get the glove down and cover. Blake Setter is in the mix, as is Bergstrom. Sawicki in there for Bethel. We've already seen more spirit just in that little exchange right there than we saw the entire game last night.
Right, more willingness to go to the hard areas on plays. Really like what I'm seeing from UWS in the first 10 minutes of this game. It's been an excellent start for the Yellow Jackets.
And the nice part is, too, Jason, it hasn't been one line or two players doing anything here. It has been all four forward lines we've seen engaged on that forecheck in a way that we haven't seen yet.
That's a great point. All four lines, the defensemen have all rotated through and looked good. The power play looked good. Been a really good start. Interesting on that last play that it was Bergstrom who was tapping away at the front of the net there. Obviously, defenseman going down into the dirty area, which isn't really a normal thing, but he recognized the opportunity and tried to take advantage of it. Almost scored. The puck popped up into the air, and he was that far away from being able to tap that over his shoulder and into the goal. So definitely like seeing UWS going to the net more tonight for sure.
The other side of that, too, another defenseman that we've seen a lot of it already tonight, Danziger.
Yeah.
And if you think back to his first 2 years, he wasn't a guy that would engage very much. He wasn't a guy that would push down like that. And now regularly he's jumping in and not just pinching down, he's trying to generate offense.
Right, and you always see Tyler Ryder using his feet and getting involved, and we've seen that continue tonight too. One time it almost backfired, but it was still the right play. Like, it was a great rush. It's nice to see them playing uninhibited and willing to go and push it and play with confidence on the offensive end.
Face off in the Bethel zone. O'Flynn goes off the right wing boards to neutralize. Gibbs knocks that down. Feeds Reed on the right wing, but he couldn't handle the pass, and Bethel will take the puck and drive it back into the Yellow Jacket zone. Puck comes down behind the net. Conkle wraps it around the left corner. Whitehouse intercepts. He collides with his man, loses the puck, but Carson Riddle picks it up. Then he's knocked down. Gets back up, gets away from the referee. Gets away from Conkle and feeds that one ahead. Now Reed in a foot race here. Reed and Spencer Kring for Bethel go after the puck all the way down behind the nets. Kring's going to come out with it. He'll bank it off the left wing boards. Jackets break it up, and it's Danziger dumping it back in. O'Flynn behind the net for Bethel. Surveying the situation before moving it up for Brown on the left wing. Brown knocked off the puck momentarily by Kagawa. Now it's played back behind the Yellow Jacket goal. Scooped up here by Ryder. Ahead at center, Kagawa. Tried to poke it to the middle, but it's going to be broken up there, and the Royals have numbers back the other way again. Across the Yellow Jacket line, a shot by Peterson blocked. Jackets regaining control here now. Ryder throws it ahead at center, trying to spring Roosevelt, but Lavelle steps into it. Now Brasini left circle a shot. The save is going to be made by Skorpic. Danziger plays that one up the boards for Kagawa. Now back to Danziger. Rink wide on the right. Roosevelt feeds Dauphiné, but he's wrapped up. And Beacom comes away with it here for Bethel. Chase Beacom across the line. Beacom in the slot takes the shot. That one's blocked by Axel. Puck ends up in the right wing corner. Yellow Jacket zone. Some nifty stick work and footwork by Joe Westland behind the net for Bethel. It comes around to the right side. Svendal able to hold it in at the left point and drive it back down low. Puck comes back behind the net to the right corner. Now Logan Anderson for Bethel centers. That's knocked out of the air. Svendal's got it at the left point. His shot is blocked. It comes all the way over to the right wing corner. Ryder giving chase, but he's a bit on the tired side here. And Blair able to win the race to that puck. Puck is tied up in the right wing corner. Yellow Jacket zone. 7.5 minutes remaining here, opening period. Bethel and the Yellow Jackets scoreless, and they will have the whistle there, and we'll get a stoppage in play, which allows us to remind you that if you can't get enough of the Yellow Jackets, tune into Eye of the Swarm, the official podcast of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Join the Big Sound Matt Johnson and me throughout the year as we sit down with Yellow Jacket student athletes, coaches, and other guests. Eye of the Swarm is available at uwsyellowjackets.com/podcast, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcasts. A little Earth, Wind, and Fire there. Let's groove tonight.
I like it.
I like it, Georgia. That's a good choice right there. That's a good choice. Well done. Jackets clear it out into the neutral zone here. Jordan Gibbs Freshman defenseman from Redwood Falls, Minnesota, dumps it in, giving chase now. Austin Paul tried to center, but hit the side of the goal. Sawicki on the left wing clears that for Bethel. It comes down in the Yellow Jacket zone where Gibbs has it. Over for Whitehouse on the right side. Whitehouse ahead. A pass out of the reach of Austin Paul, who gives chase. Svendal's there. He turns it over. Larson for the Jackets had it for a moment. Now he loses the handle on it. And Bethel will come back the other way. Berezowski up the right wing. The defenseman leading the rush for Bethel. Gets it down low. Yellum there. He gets crunched in the corner. It's going to be a penalty on Evan Axel. Delayed penalty call on the Yellow Jackets. McIsaac throws that one down into the corner. Axel runs into the same player again, adding insult to injury. And there's the stoppage in play. And Bethel is going to get its first power play of the evening.
Yellum, the one that was shaken up in the corner there, taking that hit, is able to skate off under his own power. In the old days, they'd say, well, you saw him coming and you turned your back to him. But nowadays, that's a pretty common activity for plays in the corners like that.
Yeah, I mean, in the old days, you wouldn't get that call.
Right.
You know, don't turn your back. So the Yellow Jackets going to the penalty kill here. Bethel's power play 11.1% on the season so far. Puck is in the left wing circle. Poked to the line by Ryder, but not out. Now the Yellow Jackets able to get it out to neutral ice as Cade Shea tied up Beacom and the puck came free. Now it's Brazil across the Yellow Jacket line on the left wing. Cuts it to the middle. They turn it over, and Danziger is going to slide that all the way down the ice. Yellow Jackets will change 3 of their 4 penalty killers here as Beacom picks it up in his own zone and comes back to center. Beacom up the left wing, crosses the Yellow Jacket line, down to the corner. Danziger knocks him off the puck. Dauphiné scoops it up. He banks it off the boards. It's held in momentarily now, but Roosevelt able to work that out into the neutral zone. On the left wing, Westland across the Yellow Jacket line feeds Brazil, driving his way to the net. Dusty Bergstrom breaks that play up, then he gets crunched. But the Jackets recover, and Dauphiné sends it all the way down.
Fortunately, Bergstrom saw that one coming at the last moment and was able to turn partially out of the way.
Puck is behind the Bethel goal here, under a minute to go in the power play for the Royals. Carrying it up the left side, Kring. Now he drops that one off. Brasini into the Yellow Jacket zone. Sends it down to the corner for Kostelecki. The Yellow Jackets able to break that one up. And it'll be sent all the way down the ice by Carson Riddle. Deronio out. Throws that all the way up the left wing side. Liam Whitehouse giving chase, but the icing is waved off. Brasini at the left point takes the long one-timer, and that was sailing wide, but it's going to be gloved and held by Skorpic. And we've got a face-off in the Yellow Jacket zone. 24 seconds left in the boarding minor to Evan Axel. 4:43 to play here in this opening period. Yellow Jackets and Bethel scoreless.
Jack Brown, right place at the right time, was able to nullify that would-be icing play by winning the race for the Royals.
Face off to the right of Skorpic. It's going to end up going all the way to the other side of the ring. Shea giving chase. Pushes it up the boards, and Bergstrom gets it out to neutral ice. Now Brown on the left wing. His pass broken up. Shea gets a stick on it but can't clear. Bergstrom tries to clear but can't. Finally it does come out to center. And the Royals are going to be whistled for an offside. What do you think about some of those new rules that some of these leagues are trying when you're looking at penalties?
For example?
Not allowing an icing.
Oh, right. It's interesting.
Not allowing the penalized team to ice the puck.
Right. From a player development standpoint, especially for young players, I understand it because it forces them to make a play rather than just blasting it out. At the higher levels, I'm not so sure, but at the younger levels, I can understand the rationale.
Penalty has been killed off, and the puck is going to come back out into the neutral zone. Now carrying it up the left wing. This is Yarmalnik. Feeds it into the middle for Cade Shea. It's played back up on the left wing boards, and Yellum dumps it into Yellow Jacket territory. Ryder gives chase. Yellow Jackets regaining control now. Yarmalnik feeds to the middle for Shea, now ahead. On the left wing, this is Ishmael. Ishmael throws that one toward the net. Deronio making the stop. Left wing corner. This is Yermolnik. Puts it back up top for Ryder. Now behind the net, Ishmael. Tried to chip that one out front. Yermolnik's got it left circle. Feeds it up top for Danziger. Takes the shot. That's just going to miss wide. Ishmael picks it up. Wraparound attempt goes right through the goal crease. And Yellum's going to pick it up, and he'll flip that high in the air off of one of the girders. And we will have a stoppage in play.
Ishmael's been good in this one.
Going back to our previous thought, a 2-minute penalty is a 2-minute penalty.
Right.
So you're shorthanded for 2 minutes.
Right. And then in another one, in the old days, I mean, that was the old Montreal Canadiens thing, right? It was like they were scoring too many goals on the power play, so that's what got the rule changed to allow that penalized player to come back on the ice.
Right. Jackets control the face-off. Bergstrom from the left point takes a shot that just skips wide. Now in the high slot, it's Dauphiné. Stick handles, takes the shot. Deronio the save. In the left wing corner, Bergstrom's got it here. Leaves it for Kagawa. Iki Kagawa carrying it into the high slot. Stick handles, shifts away from Beacom. Puck bounces on him, but he corrals it and feeds behind the net now for Dauphiné. Dauphiné spins away from a would-be checker, then loses the puck, and Bethel's going to have numbers back the other direction. Across the Yellow Jacket line they come, Logan Anderson, but in a step ahead of the play, Peyton Blair, and Bethel called for the offside. We're down to 2:56 remaining here in this opening period. Shots 10-8 favoring the Yellow Jackets. And we have no score.
And yes, we were involved in some of those conversations when I was working for USA Hockey as to whether players should be allowed to ice it on the penalty kill or whether we should force players at younger levels to have to make a skill play to make that first pass or skate it out and beat somebody. I mean, definitely an interesting conversation, particularly in terms of player development at the youth levels.
You know, and there's been, the Hockey News did an article on this last month, I think it was, and there's been a lot of, as play has started up again, but there's been a lot of other leagues that are trying some of these things. You're starting to see that because we talked about it yesterday with the overtime that we saw last Saturday with St. Olaf and Bethel, how it became, they figured out a way to really make 3-on-3 overtime boring.
Right, now everybody knows that it's not the first attack, it's the counter attack.
Right.
So unless you have a golden opportunity, you don't attack.
But you're starting to see leagues go to the rule now like basketball, you can't go over and back. So once you're in the offensive side of the ice, you can't go back across the red line.
Right.
Bethel on the attack, they develop a 2-on-1. Bersini with a shot, and it goes right through the goal crease. You don't see him miss those too often, as Bethel was able to make a move coming in tight, and Bersini's shot went right through the blue paint. Now Riddle's got it for the Yellow Jackets and feeds it ahead for Nickerson on the right wing. Logan Nickerson takes a long shot. Deronio the save. A.J. Reed gives it back for Nickerson. Puck loose in the blue paint again. Riddle gets a stick on it, but Deronio's going to cover that one up, and we will get a face-off once again here in the Bethel zone. Down to 2:13 remaining in period number one.
That was a great cross-ice saucer pass, and Nickerson did a great job of corralling that pass. It was right on the tape, but it was hot and it was coming in airborne.
Yeah, it had some steam on it.
He caught it clean and was able to get a shot on goal. Really excellent connection there by the Yellow Jackets.
Andrew Larson in to take the face-off here for the Yellow Jackets. 2:13 to go in the first. Face-off won by the Yellow Jackets. They were really good in the circle last night. That was probably one of the positives. Been pretty good so far here tonight. Larson, right circle, fires, and Deronio gets a stick on that and deflects it to the left corner. Tuo Mioksa now tied up by Svendal. In to help out for the Yellow Jackets is Austin Paul. Delayed penalty coming up here on Bethel. And Tyler Ryder elects to pull that all the way back into his own zone, giving it to Danziger. Danziger backhands that one back to Ryder. Jackets finally starting to move it up ice here with Ishmael cutting to the middle now and gives it to Austin Paul. Paul on the right wing gives back to Ishmael, gets it back. Paul into the slot, over to the left circle. Tuo Mioksa mishandles, and there's the whistle. And the Yellow Jackets about to go on to the power play for the second time.
Just a little too much spin on that puck when it hit Rupe's stick blade there. And he's waving his hand. He took his glove off and got some snow on his hand there. Looked like he might have maybe taken a slash or something on that one. Perhaps separate from the penalty, but that may have had some effect on why he wasn't able to hang on to that puck and get a shot there on that last scoring chance.
Jake Svendal to the box for hooking at 18:30.
Wow.
Second power play for the Yellow Jackets.
Dauphiné won that face-off about as clean as you can win it. Just launched that puck on the backhand all the way back toward center ice.
Speaking of clean, this power play is sponsored by Superior Water, Light and Power. Clean, reliable, and superior.
Very nice.
That's SWLP.
Dauphiné got kicked out of the circle for his efforts there.
No, you won that too clean. Get out of here. Roosevelt comes in, doesn't win it as clean, but still wins it. Jackets controlling at the blue line. Ryder, Kagawa, right circle. Wanted Dauphiné in front, but that one was read and picked off and then sent all the way down the ice. Tyler Ryder chasing it down now, and he'll start it over to the right side. Axel, rink-wide feet on the left. Roosevelt across the Bethel line. Roosevelt now. Tried to stick handle one too many times. The Royals take that, and they'll send it the distance. Yellow Jackets will regroup with a minute to go here in this opening period. Ryder for Axel on the right wing. Moves it ahead for Kagawa. Across the line, Kagawa cuts, fires, and just misses wide on the right post. Got that shot away in a hurry. At the blue line, Ryder couldn't hold the zone as that puck had some wicked spin. It hopped over Axel's stick first. And then got past Ryder and comes to neutral ice. Yellow Jackets changing personnel here, as carrying it in on the left wing is Ishmael. Chris Ishmael for the Yellow Jackets now. Spins from a check, feeds down low. Carson Riddle now back for Ishmael. Up top, Gibbs to Reed in the right circle. 25 to go in the period. Back to Ishmael now. Gibbs down to the left post, coming out, firing a shot. Save is made to Ronio. Puck bounce all the way through the goal crease. From the right side to the left, Nickerson couldn't get the stick on it. And it's cleared. Jackets quickly back in transition here with under 10 seconds to play, but Ishmael couldn't handle the pass. Bethel will send that all the way down, and that'll do it here for period number 1. What a good opportunity at the end there, Jason, as Nickerson got some body part on it at the right post, and that thing went right through the goal crease, spun Deronio around completely. No one could get a stick on it.
Yeah, Jackets did everything but score there. Deronio was down and out, sprawled on the ice. Puck was flying through the air, fluttering right across the goal crease, but unfortunately for UWS, it just barely stayed out.
1 period in the books here at Westman Arena. No score between the Yellow Jackets and Bethel. We'll take a timeout and come back with our first intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated right after this. You're listening to Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. We're back here at Westman Arena. It's our first intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. 20 minutes in the books, and the Yellow Jackets and Bethel scoreless. But what an entertaining period.
Yeah, that was great hockey. It was fantastic. A great start for UWS. Really everything that the Yellow Jackets could have wanted coming back from what happened last night, except for a goal.
And I would imagine Bethel the same thing.
Yeah.
Because they had some chances at the other end, and they had their stretches where they were able to sustain forecheck too, and clearly a better first period than they played last night too. So I think they probably look at this and go, okay, this was a good period for us.
Yeah, I think both of these teams would probably say they got back on track to a certain extent in that period. Obviously some good power play action for UWS as well, and some decent penalty killing for the Royals.
I think you look at the no scoring, obviously, but the shots were 15-8 favoring the Yellow Jackets. And in the pregame interview with Cage Shea, he said, we look at it, we're averaging like 24 shots a game. They're already at 15. You look at the number of shots attempted. They attempted 21 shots in that first period. 15 on goal. They're getting shots through tonight. It's very different from what we saw last night.
Yeah, better passing, better shooting, more assertive, going to the net more, going to the dirty areas. It's definitely looking better for UWS in terms of their attack and their offense right now.
Coach McKenna also used the word grit, and I don't think you can underestimate what a Logan Nickerson brings to the lineup. You don't have your captain. Colin Pedersen is still out. Hopefully he's back in the lineup next week. But you got a Logan Nickerson in the lineup. He brings that grit that this team was sorely missing last night. Definitely.
And as a whole, the Yellow Jackets have played with a lot more grit. The forecheck has been a lot more in your face without crossing the line, without taking penalties. But they've gotten a piece of some people. They've been hard on sticks. They're doing the things that make a forecheck work, really, instead of being kind of passive and soft the way they were last night.
And we've got 30 seconds of power play time that's going to carry over into the second period. I know Coach absolutely hates it when the power play carries over. The people make a big deal of the new ice and everything, and he says, yeah, but you've given them a chance to get off their heels a little bit. And he said, I wish we could just defer it and play out the remainder of the power play time and then take your intermission, which obviously you cannot do that. But the power play that we've seen so far from the Yellow Jackets tonight has been really, really good. Without it getting a result, really, really good.
Yeah, they've moved the puck well. The passes have been on the tape. It looks like they have a plan that can actually generate scoring chances, and they seem to be executing it pretty well. They've gotten some chances out of it. Another thing I liked in that first period, we talked with Coach Meisner in the postgame show yesterday, and he mentioned the gap control being an issue with the defensemen. And obviously that's a defensive zone concept, but it really starts at the blue line. And you can see the defensemen tonight being a little more willing to not just immediately sag back. They've been able to stick in there, hang in there a little bit, hold some pucks in, attack and turn some pucks back over that they were trying to exit the zone on. So I think that's been another positive for UWS, is a little better gap control by the defensemen.
And that's one of the things that I talked about earlier too, is I talked about it last weekend, but we had in the Marion game, they absolutely did a great job of breaking up plays and shoving it right back down Marion's throat, not letting them get anything generating. The transition back was very, very quick. And we're starting to see some of that tonight. We hadn't really seen it since maybe the first period of the Gustavus game, but we're starting to see some of it tonight, and that goes back to what you're talking about. The gaps are good. They're not letting them get it beyond the red line, and they're shoving it right back in the offensive zone and getting back to the forecheck.
Right, and that can be so demoralizing for a team when they just can't exit the zone cleanly. They can't get a breakout that's fast and quick transition because they're constantly having the puck shoved back in and having to redefend over and over. Now, on the flip side, you're probably going to give up some odd man rushes when you're playing that style, because it's natural. If you're going to pinch all the time, it's going to work a lot. You're going to take good pinches. There's going to be some times through no fault of your own that it's going to backfire, and that's when you need your goaltender to make saves, and we've seen that tonight. And even sometimes your forwards are going to have to do the job. Iki Kagawa, I remember one time he got caught back as one of the defensemen, and he went down to a knee, was willing to block a shot, eat a shot, do what he had to do back there. So you're going to give up some odd man rushes, but hopefully you make mostly wise decisions and you get more positives than negatives out of that a little more free, aggressive, assertive style.
So what do you do now? You're going back to the locker room here. You've had a good period. What are you telling these guys?
Come out and keep doing the same thing you're doing. Don't change a thing. Stay aggressive. Stay assertive. Let's build on one one good period and not let that be the only good period tonight. It's like the mission's not over just because you had one good period of hockey and show that you could be a good hockey team again. Like, let's build on it. Let's make it a second period. And then, to your point, with a little bit of power play time left over, like, let's try to win that draw, use it. If we don't, be smart about, somebody coming out of the box, and let's not give up a breakaway going the other way.
Right, because that's always something. It always seems like at least once a game, that puck gets cleared right as that guy is coming out of the box. Right. And, the D are usually pretty good about being wise to that guy. Benches are very vocal about behind you. You get the guy coming out of the box. So, yeah, let's not 30 seconds into this thing have them going one-on-one with Jan.
Right, and sometimes when you're in the flow, when it's not an interrupted power play, you're always conscious of when the power play is going to end.
Yep.
But when it's an interrupted power play like this, it's easy to come out and think, okay, we've only got 30 seconds. We got to win this draw. We got to get in there and score. And you kind of forget, that clock's going to expire. So if you don't score on the first rush, don't forget there's going to be somebody coming out of the box. Just remember it. Be aware.
Penalties in the game so far. Bethel has 2 penalties for 4 minutes. The Yellow Jackets 1 penalty for 2 minutes. Power plays thus far. Bethel 0 for 1. Jackets 0 for 1. And as we mentioned, have 30 seconds of power play time carrying over into the second period. 4 shots on goal in the power play so far. That 1 plus power plays, I guess. And that is already more than the entire game last night.
Yeah, and some good looks. A couple of good looks where they ended up not getting a shot out of it, but definitely creating some lanes for good shots and then getting the pucks to the net, which is great to see. And they've also got some second chance opportunities tonight, which we didn't see any of that last night.
Right.
Where there've been some rebounds, there've been some chances to go in there and cause some commotion and almost shove a puck across the line a couple times.
No score here at Westman Arena. We're in the first intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. We'll take a timeout and come back and take a look at what else is going on around the WIAC. Full sports day at UW Superior as well. So we'll have all that coming up during this first intermission. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. We're back here at Westman Arena. It's our first intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. And I'll tell the masses I'm an idiot because Abby had Coach McKenna. And I started jotting a note down, and the next thing you know, I'm going to a break, and then I realized that, I'm not very smart sometimes. So all apologies to her. I know we'll get her during the second intermission. I can promise you that.
All night long, we were talking about it last night. And then we get the opportunity today, and I blow it. Screw it up.
And I blow it.
Sorry,
so
Abby.
I apologize to Abby. I'll have to.
And Coach McKenna.
Yeah, no, I'm not apologizing to him because he stiffed me last night. So no, I'm not going to apologize to him. But I feel bad about that one. So all apologies on that one. Apologies to the listeners as well. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here tonight in the WIAC. One finals already. Beloit and Huron skated to a 3-3 tie. St. John's has a 2-0 lead over UW Stout. Augsburg and Eau Claire are tied 1-1. Concordia has a 1-0 lead over River Falls. So this has not been a good weekend for the WIAC in the head-to-head matchups with the MIAC. Let's see if we can do a little something in the second period and flip the tables a little bit. In the Division I ranks, UMD is trailing Nebraska Omaha 1-0. North Dakota trailing Arizona State 3-1. Wisconsin up on Ohio State 4-3. And it looks like the Golden Ones have rebounded from their unexpected loss to the Sharks last night as they defeated Long Island 6-3. Earlier today, the Yellow Jacket men's soccer team opened NCAA tournament play, and they came up short, falling to St. Olaf 3-0. The women's soccer team also opened up NCAA tournament play, and they fell to the University of Chicago 5-0. The men's cross-country team placing 24th in the NCAA North Regional, so with 721 points. Ben Plackner finishing the 8K with a time of 27 minutes, 20.6 seconds. On the women's side, they finished 30th with 921 points. Scarlett Vanderschuren with a season best 27-minute, 18.7 second run in that 6K. The Yellow Jacket women's basketball team falling to Hamlin 56-27. Kylie Hewitt leading the way with 6 points. Rough one for the Yellow Jacket women. They only shot 23.8% in the game. That's a tough one. Men's basketball falling to Coast 73-69 at the Gabe Miller Classic hosted by UW Platteville. Andrew Beers had 12 points to lead the Yellow Jackets. He is one of 4 Yellow Jackets to score in double figures. Yellow Jacket volleyball team is in action as we speak down at Northwestern, playing in the UMAC championship match. They lost the first set, and they are now down a point. Oh, they just tied it, 22-22 in set number 2. So the Yellow Jacket volleyball team hoping to win their first ever UMAC championship. Should be their first championship ever, because they didn't win anything in the WIAC and haven't won anything yet in the UMAC either. But you're playing a Northwestern club that is very, very good. They are rock solid, top to bottom, front to back, inside and out. They play a very rugged non-conference schedule, and there's a reason they are receiving votes in the national poll.
Shout out to our team upstairs here. Doing a great job with the audio, with the screens. We got stats coming from all the different games, every different league right now. This is good stuff here in the Westman Arena press box. Pretty impressive.
All except for the idiot who fails to go to the rinkside reporter, right? Come on, John.
We're almost a well-oiled machine.
We're almost, yes. So between that and my inability to say Tuo Mioksa on a regular basis, yeah. About 2.5 minutes away from the start of this second period here at Westman Arena. Yellow Jackets and Bethel are scoreless. Jackets hit the road next Friday, as they'll be down at the Hobbs Ice Arena in Eau Claire to take on the Blue Golds. That'll be their season opener in WIAC play, and it'll be their only trip to Hobbs this season during the regular season. And then a week from tonight, they'll be back home to take on the Pointers. UW Stevens Point and its only trip to Westman Arena in the regular season. So, doesn't get any easier.
No, it does not. What's going on with the Blue Golds thus far?
I'd be lying if I said I really dove into knowing I wasn't going to see them for a while.
Right.
I haven't really taken a deep dive into everything. They currently are sitting at
it's been a little bit of a tough
1-2 overall for them.
I mean, we're not deep into this, obviously.
Right.
Just not accustomed to seeing them below 500.
No, I don't. Last year was kind of one of those years where, Coach and I talked about it. If you go back to this Yellow Jacket team 2 years ago, they couldn't score a goal to save their lives. I mean, they had a really difficult time putting the puck in the net. And I think Eau Claire kind of went through the same thing last year. They just really struggled to score, and it's not because they didn't have talent. It was just one of those things. At the end of the day, they still made the NCAA tournament. Stevens Point did, and we didn't. River Falls did, and it was Eau Claire that represented the WIAC. And they went into it as an under 500 team because they had a rough year, but they won the games they had to win. They won the mini game they had to win.
Like Lou Vero, my old friend from USA Hockey, used to say about the World Championship, you don't have to win all the games. You got to win the right games.
You got to win the right games, and Eau Claire won the right games.
Yes.
Both teams back on the ice here for the start of the second period. Once again, apologies to Abby Hoffman. That one is completely on me.
We really got to get her a wireless set up to where we can communicate with her.
I know, I can see her down there, and I feel awful about it. And I don't feel bad that Coach waited, but I feel bad for what I did to her there. So I promise we're going to get it right in the second intermission. Yellow Jackets in the home gold sweaters will be going right to left across your radio dial here in the second period. She could probably actually talk into the ice mic down there, and I'd hear her. Just don't swear if you're down there. 30 seconds of power play time left here. Yellow Jackets will start off with Roosevelt, Dauphiné, and Kagawa up front. Axel and Ryder on the blue line. So 3 forwards, 2 defense.
And the long change for both teams.
And the long change. That's exactly right. Dauphiné to take the face-off against Jack Brown. He drives it forward, Brown does. Yellow Jackets will chase the puck down behind his net now. This is Ryder. Up the left wing for Roosevelt across the Bethel line. He pulls up in the left circle. Gives behind the net for Dauphiné. He loses the puck. Clearing attempt doesn't go as it's held in by Kagawa on the right wing. Now for Dauphiné, back to Kagawa. It comes up to the right point. Ryder holds the zone. It hops over the stick of Dauphiné, but Roosevelt picks it up. Roosevelt now feeds it into the slot. It's loose at the left side of the net. Kagawa shot blocked. Now the shot by Roosevelt. The save is made. Penalty has expired, so we are back to 5-on-5. But a couple good opportunities in the opening 30 seconds here. Ryder right side tried to center. That one's not going to connect. He was looking for Roosevelt in front. And Bethel will clear that one ahead now. Brasini across the Yellow Jacket line takes the shot, and the save is made by Skorpic. Big rebound comes all the way to neutral ice. Ryder picks it up, then he overskates the puck. And back the other way they come again across the Yellow Jacket line. A shot, and the save is made by Skorpic. As in behind the D was Peyton Blair on the breakaway, and Skorpic makes the stop. Puck is in the right wing corner now. This is Blair. He throws that one up top. Left point, a shot, save made. Skorpic, big rebound. He didn't know where it was, but the Yellow Jackets able to get it to the line and clear. Center got it to neutral ice. Bethel's going to dump it back in. The PK seems to have energized the Royals a little bit here in the opening 90 seconds. Now Anderson couldn't intercept the pass. Jackets back the other way. Setter takes a shot from the left side. That misses. Way too many Yellow Jackets on the ice there, so nobody's allowed to play the puck, and that's going to come all the way down.
Yeah, good play by Danziger to just let that go so they didn't get called for too many.
Puck in the Yellow Jacket zone because of that, and it's going to be chipped by Danziger up the wall. Icing waved off on the play as it comes all the way down the ice. In the right wing corner, Bethel zone Setter gives behind the net. Ishmael quickly tried to feed that in front, but it was broken up. Ishmael pursues the puck, catches up to it right wing corner. Now behind the net for Cade Shea. He's pinned to the boards. Puck is in his skates. In to help out is Blake Setter, who works it free. Setter now cycles it back down low. Shea along the end board. Comes back up the right wing side. Cycles back to the corner. Ishmael, he'll get away from the checker. Gets away again. Carries it all the way up into the high slot now. Ishmael stick handles, curls back toward the right wing boards, and then feeds it down to the corner. Yarmolnik giving chase. He's got it behind the Bethel net now. Yarmolnik up top. Bergstrom stick handles at the left point. Throws it back down to the corner for Ishmael. Ishmael centers that one back against the grain, but unable to get a stick on that with Shea. And now Kostelecki sends Bethel back the other way. Brazil tried to stick handle around Gibbs, but he poke checked him beautifully. And then Gibbs feeds it up the left wing for Shea, who clears. Frantic pace here in the early going of period number 2. Now Riddle at center. Nice lead pass, Yarmolnik across the line on the right wing. Yarmolnik taken off the play. Riddle picks up the puck. Carson Riddle up top. Gibbs lets it go. He scores! Jordan Gibbs with the wrister from the left point. It goes off the glove of Deronio and in, and the Yellow Jackets are in front.
That pass barely got through to Gibbs, and then he was able to corral it and get off a quick wrist shot. I don't think the goaltender for Bethel saw that puck. There was some traffic that cut right in front of him, right as the shot was coming through. Deronio probably didn't see that one, and it ended up going up over his left shoulder, his glove side shoulder.
I don't know if that hit a defender in front or went off of his glove or what, but it's not like it was a rocket.
And the Jackets grab that puck and send it to the bench. That's the first college goal there for Gibbs.
It should be Riddle and Yarmolnik on the assists. We will wait and see officially, but at any rate, the Yellow Jackets get they gave A.J. Reed the assist. I have to go back and watch the replay. I thought it was Yarmo who had that. At any rate, keep the puck, young man. First career goal for Jordan Gibbs has the Yellow Jackets in front.
For your Yellow Jackets, his first goal as a Yellow Jacket, number 2, Jordan Gibbs.
And the Yellow Jackets have just added another one. A.J. Reed's going to get credit for it as he got the puck right at the top of the goal crease. Chipped it over the shoulder of Daronio. And it's 2-0.
Jackets once again going hard to the net here and creating scoring chances in tight. Love to see it.
3:18 the time of that one, so the Jackets strike twice in 13 seconds.
A pair of freshmen.
Youth being served here in the first 3+ minutes of period number 2. Second of the year for A.J. Reed. So as of right now, Reed has a 2-point game.
It's his second goal of the season, number 18, A.J. Reed. He got an assist from number 8, Alexei Yarmolnik, and number 3, Tyler Ryder.
Ryder and Yarmolnik on the helpers there. Puck in the Yellow Jacket zone now. Svendal on the left wing throws that toward the front of the net. Skorpik's going to make the stop and then get pushed into his goal.
Skorpik's been really good when they've needed him, especially in the second period. You look back on that early going and that breakaway save that he had.
Yep.
It's been really solid.
Yeah, he made a save on a difficult shot by Brasini. Because Brasini seems to go high a lot. He's catching him up in the shoulder. That's happened twice so far tonight. And then Blair with the breakaway. Skorpik dialed in so far here tonight. 16:08 to go, second period, 2-0 Yellow Jackets. If you went to the fridge, you missed a lot. Face off to Skorpik's right. The Yellow Jackets try to push up the boards but can't. Now Larson's got it here. Larson ahead on the left wing for Tuo Mioksa. His pass into the middle of the ice for Austin Paul doesn't connect. Comes back into the Bethel zone now. And moved back quickly to center ice. Blair up the right wing for Bethel. Dumps it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Axel giving chase. He gets pinned to the boards in the right corner. Kring holds right point, and his shot is going to drift over the glass and out of play. And we'll have a face-off coming up here in the Yellow Jacket zone. So the first goal as of right now says Gibbs from Riddle and Reed. I thought it was Yarmolnik who had it because he had the puck behind the net and got it to Riddle. So I'm leaving that one blank for right now. And then the second one has Reed from Yarmolnik and Ryder, which I believe was correct. Our crack staff will have to whip up a replay for us there. Puck is behind the Yellow Jacket net right now. Whitehouse around the right wing side for Roosevelt. He banks it off the boards at center, trying to spring Kagawa, but it doesn't go. Now Lavelle on the right wing for Bethel. Gets crunched into the boards by Roosevelt. It comes back behind the Yellow Jacket net. Brasini's got it, left wing corner. Whitehouse knocks him off his skates. Puck back to the left corner. Whitehouse up the boards, gives to Roosevelt. He gets knocked down. Penalty coming on Bethel. It's going to be a Yellow Jacket power play as Daniel Roosevelt draws the penalty.
And that'll take Brasini off the ice. Likely for boarding. You could see Bethel coming out trying to crank up the physicality there.
You are correct. It is a boarding call. And it'll be the third power play of the evening for the Yellow Jackets. They are 0 for 2. This power play sponsored by Superior Water, Light, and Power. Clean, reliable Superior. That's SWLP.
Jackets with a chance to really take a stranglehold on this one, on this power play.
Yarmolnik, Ishmael, Riddle up front. Reed and Gibbs on the blue line. At the right point, it's Reed. In the middle now for Gibbs. Over for Ishmael left side. He gives it down low. Yarmalnik off the goal line, put it right through the blue paint. Now Reed's got it on the half-board right side. Now to Riddle. Up top for Gibbs. He leaves for Ishmael. One-timer from Reed, right circle. Save is made by Deronio. He'll hold on to that. Good puck movement there, and Reed got all the one-timer.
Yeah, again, looks really cohesive. Looks like they have a plan and they're executing it, getting good shots.
Gibbs for the Yellow Jackets, gives to Reed, right circle. Now Riddle takes a shot from the goal line on the right side, and Deronio made the save there. Cleared back out to neutral ice now. The Yellow Jackets pick it up in their own zone with Ishmael. To the left wing side, Gibbs. Rink wide feet on the right for Yarmalnik now. He drops it off for Reed. Nifty move. Reed right circle, fires, and the save is made Deronio. Reed gets the loose puck. Ishmael in the middle now. Right circle, Reed pulls it, fires, it's blocked. Penalty coming. It's going to be on the Yellow Jackets here, as I think they're going to get Yarmalnik for hacking a stick out of somebody's hand. The indication is interference. So that'll nullify the remainder of that Yellow Jacket power play.
Well, he wasn't using a pool noodle.
You are correct. Time of the penalty, 6 minutes. Yarmalnik for interference. 4-on-4 for the next 1:02 before Bethel will get an abbreviated power play. The infraction brings the face-off all the way back to Yellow Jacket territory to the right of Jan Skorpik. Shots 21-12 favoring the Yellow Jackets, but more importantly, they're up 2-rip right now. Ryder with the puck here, feeds it ahead for Kagawa on the left wing, and he'll backhand that down into the Bethel zone. Ryder and Danziger the D, Kagawa and Dauphiné up front in the right wing corner. Bethel zone, this is Kagawa. Uses the referee as a shield, carries it up high, now leaves for Danziger. Danziger circles the net, has it in the left wing corner. Puck got up on end on him, so he's forced to kind of pin it to the wall and settle it down a little bit, and Bethel's going to come away and carry it up ice. Across the Yellow Jacket line they come. Logan Anderson left side, has it taken from him by Dauphiné. Jackets have a 3-on-2 back the other way. This is Dauphiné across the line. Dauphiné now left circle. Played it toward the net, and Deronio sticks that one away.
That was really well defended by Peterson.
Peterson has the puck here now for the Royals. Kicks it over to Svendal on the left wing side. Back over to the right wing boards. Blair. He sends it deep. Skorpik out of the net, wraps it up the left wing side. Penalized player is back on, so Bethel currently on the power play. Kagawa currently with the puck. He's 1-on-5 right now, carries it deep, sends it hard around the boards. Roosevelt's got it right wing side. He's going to eat it along the end boards. Gets pinned to the wall.
This looks like the Hanson brothers shift. One guy against 3 in the corner.
A little less violent, though.
Yes.
Into the Yellow Jacket zone, Kring carries behind the net. Jackets able to turn that one over, however, and Roosevelt on the backhand clears it out into the neutral zone. Kring at his own line with 20 left in the power play for Bethel. Gives to Kostelecki, but the Jackets' Bergstrom breaks that up, and he'll send it all the way down the ice. Deronio out. Passes it around the right wing board for Kring. Kring now to center. Passes ahead on the left wing. Hamstead across the line, knocked down by Whitehouse. Jackets pick up the loose puck. Yarmalnik's out of the penalty box, and we are back to 5-on-5. The pass ahead for Paul is behind him. It comes all the way down. And that's going to be an icing call on the Yellow Jackets. We have 11:53 remaining here in this second period. Jackets up 2-0.
Play has gotten a little ragged here over the last few minutes.
Penalties will do that.
Yeah. See if these teams can walk back in at 5-a-side here. Jackets up 21-12 in shots on goal currently, according to the scoreboard.
That would mean it's a 7-4 advantage here in this second period. Bethel wins the face-off. That one doesn't get to the net as they block it. Austin Paul's stick disintegrates as a result of said block.
That's a great effort by Austin Paul, though. He battled through interference on the circle and then threw his body in front of the shot to make sure it didn't get through, and then got his stick cut in half for his efforts.
That'll hurt the budget. It's funny, too. You walk back by Coach McKenna's office in that little hallway back there, and the one wall is just all these broken sticks lined up that they have to send back. And it's like, you just see dollar signs there. And the funny thing is, if you bring kids back there, the first thing they think is knee hockey. Look at that.
Yeah.
Face off to Deronio's right. 11:45 remaining here in period number 2. Jackets with a pair 13 seconds apart to give themselves some breathing room. Puck is in the Bethel zone momentarily, but now it's cleared out to neutral ice. Tyler Ryder backing it up. Up the left wing for Austin Paul. He tips it in. Larson giving chase. Takes McIsaac into the boards. Bethel regaining control, however, and coming to center, Hamstead. Hamstead on the left wing takes a long shot. That one's blocked. That wasn't Hamstead, excuse me. It was McIsaac who took the shot. And
how many guys
has managed to he's cross-checked 3 of the 5 Yellow Jacket skaters on the ice right now.
Who did nothing to him.
They just... And I'm curious to see are the officials going to make a call here? Because that is one of those things that's completely unnecessary.
And that was freshman forward Nate McIsaac that was putting the lumber into the back of 3/5 of the Yellow Jacket lineup there.
Referee Brett Klazowski conversing with Chris McKelvey, the 8th-year head coach of the Royals right now.
Long conversation.
It is quite a long conversation.
But Claus is good like that. I mean,
you and I know him very well.
He's only officiated about 5,000 games in his life.
Right.
He's a good communicator.
Well, somebody was talking to me earlier about him, and I said, you got to understand, he was a zebra back when he was playing college hockey. So, he's been doing this a long time.
Nothing he hasn't seen.
From the youth hockey ranks all the way up into the minor pros. I mean, I saw him a couple years ago doing a squirt game here. Kostelecki for Bethel in the slot. Takes the shot. It goes over the top of the net. Conkle behind the net. Comes loose at the right side of the goal, but Carson Riddle scoops it up, and he'll clear. It's in the feet of O'Flynn, but he didn't know it was there. A.J. Reed also didn't know it was there. Bethel regains control. Big collision in the neutral zone as Peterson blew a tire, and Carson Riddle just collided with him. And Peterson took the worst of that one. Now A.J. Reed for the Yellow Jackets clears it to neutral ice. Berezowski dumps it back in and then knocks Reed off his skates. Skorpic out, gives it to Gibbs on the left wing side. He moves it ahead for Riddle. You got the alligator arms there with Westland streaking it on him. Whitehouse up the right side. Yarmulnik doesn't get a stick on it. It comes all the way down, icing waved. Deronio setting it up. And Berezowski comes from behind the net to Westland on the right wing. He takes a shot, pad save Skorpic. Perfect rebound to center. And he gives it to Ishmael now. Ishmael across the line, drops it right onto the stick of Berezowski. Then Berezowski runs over Ishmael. Puck comes around the boards, held in at the left point momentarily, but now it gets past Bergstrom 2-on-1. This is Anderson in the left circle, right circle over to Blair, and he wanted to go back to Anderson going to the post. It was out of his reach. Jackets dodge a bullet. Now Shea back the other way, up the left wing into the Bethel zone. He's tied up left wing corner. Logan Anderson crunched there behind the net by Ishmael. Into the slot center. Fires! And the save is made by Deronio. Left wing corner now. Bergstrom pinned to the board. Setter in to help out. Berezowski tying him up. Puck tied up in the skates of Dusty Bergstrom. It'll allow the Yellow Jackets to begin a line change here. As Kagawa steps on, followed by Dauphiné. Clearing attempt knocked down on the left wing by Bergstrom. Kagawa has it left circle, comes to the no backhand shot right over the top of the net. Boy, he got a lot on the backhand there. Behind the net, Kagawa comes out the left side with it here. Into the slot, Bergstrom, he takes the shot and he misses high and wide. On the right wing side, Axel now throws it down low. It comes around to the left wing corner. Svendal to clear, gets it up the wall, and it's going to get past Ryder and come all the way down. And it will be an icing call. The puck was spinning and slowing down as it was getting down there, and it's like, is it going to have enough, or can the defenseman milk it well enough?
Needed the broom out there to speed it up a little bit. Good shift by the Yellow Jackets. One thing I liked on that shot from Setter is that he got rid of it quick. It was on and off his stick, and that's what made the play. Yep.
No dusting it off at all, just ripped it. So many things that are happening tonight that were just we're nowhere near the building last night.
Yeah, it's a night and day difference.
It really is. Face off to Deronio's right with 8:50 remaining here in this second period. Hands down the best second period of the season we have seen thus far. Blair for Bethel tried to tip that one out of the zone. It was held at first by Danziger, and then Kagawa holds as well and drives it back down low. On the left wing boards, Roosevelt feeds to the corner for Dauphiné now. Dauphiné gets away from trouble for Roosevelt below the goal line. Now back up top, Ryder at the left point in the middle. Danziger, he takes a quick shot, saved Deronio. He'll hold on with both Dauphiné and Kagawa looking for the loose puck, but some, again, good quick puck movement from Ryder to Danziger, and he didn't dust anything off. He just got it through.
Yep, exactly. It was one quick move with the stick just to get it to his forehand, and then he fired it through there and got a shot. Lots of good things. Difference between night and day with this Yellow Jacket team from last night to tonight, and I would think it's got to be a lot more fun for the players to play this one.
Yeah, I would imagine they're having more fun. The bench is probably more lively.
Right, and I think that's a part of what made last night so frustrating, is that this is what this team's capable of.
Right.
So how can they come out and do what they did last night?
Right.
Be free and get after it, boys. This is what you're capable of.
Yellow Jacket Hockey and Bills Distributing are partnering to benefit Folds of Honor for the 10th year in a row. Every time the Yellow Jackets score a goal at home, Bills Distributing will donate $20 to Folds of Honor, helping provide scholarships and educational assistance for the families of fallen or severely wounded servicemen and women and first responders. So $40 in the kitty now tonight. Well done, Jackets.
Doing better than last night. Jackets continuing to hold on to a sizable shots on goal advantage here as well.
23-13 officially shots on net. The other thing we really haven't touched on, 22-9 in faceoffs.
Wow. Yeah, that helps.
So the centers have really bared down here tonight as Bethel wins the faceoff. But Larson quickly on the attack, takes Persini into the boards. Then Tuo Mioksa knocks a man down behind the net. The clearing attempt held in at the right point by Austin Paul. Down the boards now for Larson. He circles away from a check. Carries down to the corner, spins again. Paul, one-timer from the right circle, and that just misses wide to the left. Now a steal by Larson as he picked off the clearing pass, but got a little too much stick on that one, and the puck got away from him. Royals will play it up the left wing, out into the neutral zone now. Yellow Jackets regaining control, and we're going to get a stoppage in play because the puck hit a stick on the Bethel bench that's hanging over the boards. To me, that should be a penalty.
Right. It could be a delay of game type situation, yeah.
I mean, it's the one thing that the tip of the blade might be over, but that was half of the guy's stick hanging over the boards right there. And you basically squelched a rush for your own team by doing that.
Right.
Face off outside the Yellow Jacket blue line. Gibbs will take it right off the draw and speed away on the left wing. He crosses the Bethel line down to the left corner. Jordan Gibbs behind the net now. Gibbs over to the right wing side. Yarmalnik gives it to Riddle. Now quickly up top, Gibbs loads up the one-timer and whistles that one just wide. Whitehouse left corner. Had it for a moment, and it's taken from him, and Bethel's going to clear it back the other direction to neutral. Whitehouse settles it down and sends it right back up the wing for Reed. A.J. Reed down to the left corner. In to help out Yarmalnik here. It comes to the right wing side where Riddle's got it, and we have a penalty forthcoming.
They're going to get Reed.
They're going to get Reed for a cross-check here, it looks like. I mean,
it was behind the play, but it was the right call. A.J. Reed, to his credit, has played a very abrasive game tonight. He's done exactly what he needs to do and played right to his style. But that one was maybe just a smidge across the line.
Well, and that's what I was going to say is that's the way he's supposed to play, you know. And there needs to be a little more grit in his game, and we're seeing it tonight. And when you get a guy who plays that way, you're going to have to kill some penalties, and that's all right.
Yep.
Jackets control the face-off and send it down the ice. Chase Beacom has it here now for Bethel. He'll carry up the right wing, now drop it off. Dauphiné gets a stick on it at neutral, but getting through is Blair. Throws it to the front of the Yellow Jacket net. Ryder gets a stick on it, but it doesn't come out of the zone. Logan Anderson up top for Beacom. Now over to Brazil, left circle. Down low, Westland, back up top. Beacom over to Blair on the right side. Down behind the net, Westland giving chase. That pass intercepted by Danziger. Ryder to clear up the left wing. It doesn't go, but a nice play by Roosevelt to dig that thing off the wall, separate himself from the check and clear.
He's been really good tonight.
Puck at center now. Beacom drops it back a little too robustly, and Brazil has to curl back into his own zone here. Now for Blair with a minute left in the power play. Peyton Blair for Bethel up the right side into the Yellow Jacket zone. Carries behind the goal. Has it left wing corner. Up top for Kring at the left point, who sends it deep. Behind the net, Jack Brown taken off the play by Liam Whitehouse. Loose puck picked up by Bergstrom, who gets tripped up, but play continuing on. Brown now stripped of the puck by Bergstrom. It comes back behind the net, and on the left wing side, it's Kostelecki. He carries into the high slot. Goes back to Brasini, left circle, but that pass was a little too hard for him. Jackets try to clear, but it doesn't come out. Now Cade Shea gets a stick on the pass, and that does come to the line, but Kostelecki holds right point. He drives it down low. Whitehouse had it for a moment, but now Brasini's got it. Centering pass out front, broken up by a sliding Chris Ishmael. Brasini gets it back right side, feeds it up top. Kostelecki right circle, walks and fires. That's blocked by Bergstrom. That stung. Play continuing on. Now Brasini with a nifty move, gets it down low. The shot, and that one goes off the outside of the goal. Penalized player is back on, and the Yellow Jackets are going to have numbers coming back the other way if they hustle. Up the right wing, Ishmael dropping it off for Shea. Back to Ishmael, out front for Reed, and it goes right through the skates. And back the other way now, Bethel. On the right wing, O'Flynn dumps it into the Yellow Jacket zone as we pass the 15-minute mark of the second period. 2-0 Yellow Jackets. This is Ryder. Up on the left wing for Riddle. He tips it into the Bethel zone. They'll clear it right back up. Yellowm at the red line gets a stick on it, tipping it in. On the left wing side, Reed. Had it, then lost it. O'Flynn now. Gives to Hamstad, now down to the corner, centering pass. That's going to come all the way up to the left point for Peterson. He drives it back down low. Right wing corner, Yellow Jacket zone. Ryder couldn't get a stick on it. Hamstad takes a shot from the right circle that's blocked. It comes all the way down the ice, and Doronio smartly throws it right back up. Jackets aren't allowed to make the line change here. Behind the net, Hamstad for Bethel comes out with it, has it left circle, carries it into the high slot, leaves for Peterson. Kagawa tried to pick the pocket and take off, but Bethel able to maintain control. KJ Yellowm in the left corner, Jackets with the steal. Now the puck comes to the front of the net, that's blocked by Danziger. Jackets need a whistle here. Now a centering pass, that's not going to go. And finally the puck comes out to neutral. Riddle feeds Kagawa. Kagawa left circle, hits the brakes but loses the puck. And back the other way, Westland. Poke checked in the neutral zone by Gibbs. Gibbs for the Yellow Jackets tried to feed Kagawa. That doesn't go, and then that's going to get flipped over the glass. And out of play, and we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone. Down to 3:28 remaining here in the second period. Yellow Jackets with the 2-0 lead.
Good to see Dusty Bergstrom up, standing on the bench and ready to take his next shift. He had to sell out on that penalty kill and block a shot. He took it right in the gut or the chest. Definitely stung him. Definitely earned himself a stick tap for that one.
I mean, you could see the grimace on his face.
He did what he had to do.
Eight blocks for the Yellow Jackets already tonight. In the neutral zone, Westland has it for Bethel, and he'll dump it in. Evan Axel chases it down behind the goal. Comes up the right side, Dauphiné into the middle now. Kagawa back up for Dauphiné. Across the Bethel line, Dauphiné right circle, drives it toward the net, tried to center for Kagawa, but he was tied up. Kagawa takes a sharp angle shot, Doronio with the save. At the left point, Axel wanted Kagawa right circle, and it was there. But a credit to the Bethel defense for getting a stick in that passing lane and deflecting it out of play.
Just took a little bit too long for that play to develop, for Axel to be able to load it up and get ready for that long cross-ice pass. You could see the lane, and Kagawa was calling for it, but took a bit to get the gun loaded up to make the pass.
Heads up over there, Abby. There's the delay. All of a sudden, you see the smile over there. Face off to the right of Deronio with 2:52 to go in the second period. Saying her name now, it reminds me, I won't forget her this intermission, I promise. In the neutral zone, the Jackets regaining control with Whitehouse. Up the left wing for Shea, and he's going to flip that in. Deronio knocks it down, plays it behind the goal. Beacom's got it here for Bethel. He'll flip that out into the neutral zone. Kostelecki bats the pass out of the air. Now Konkel's got it. He takes a shot. Jackets get a piece of it, and it goes wide of the mark. Kostelecki left of the net, tries to go short side high, and Skorpic makes the save there. First shot for Bethel in quite a while there. On the left wing board, Shea tips that to neutral ice. It's going to come all the way down. No icing on the play, so the Jackets will begin a line change here.
Every time the Jackets have needed him, Skorpic's been there. Jamison
O'Flynn behind his own net, allowing his team to change personnel as well. Tuomioksa and Deronio getting a little handsy at the top of the goal crease there. Back the other way now. Bethel on the left wing. Brasini plays it in. Brown in the right wing corner. Lavelle in there as well. Austin Paul tried to clear. It was blocked. Now behind the net. Danziger gets taken down in pursuit of the puck, and play continuing on. Bethel regains control in the left circle, and that one misses over the top of the net. I mean, that's as clean cut as it gets. Puck played back into the Yellow Jacket zone. Icing waved off. Bethel showing themselves here in the late stages of this period. Now Brasini with a sharp angle shot. The save made by Skorpic. And finally it'll be cleared out by Larson to center. Played with a high stick by Bethel, and that's going to result in a face-off coming all the way back down in their zone.
Yeah, key moment of the game here. 1 minute remaining in the second period. Jackets got to escape this thing with at least this 2-goal lead intact. Need to settle in here. Make sure that we've got good layers and we're doing our job in the D zones.
This is the don't do anything stupid time, too.
Right.
I mean,
just manage the puck.
Let's just be smart here. Go to the locker room with your 2-goal lead and come back out for the third. Face off to Deronio's right with 63 seconds left. Riddle wins the face off. It was loose in left circle for a moment. Now comes up top to the left point, and the shot taken by Bergstrom gets blocked. Puck flipped back into the Bethel zone now, and some nifty stick handling by Kring gets him free from the rush. Hamstead shot from the left wing. Glove save made there by Skorpic, and now some pushing and shoving again. Right at the top of the goal crease. Yellum is in there for Bethel. Bergstrom for the Yellow Jackets. Also in there, Max Hamstead for Bethel, and it looks like we're going to take a couple here.
Yellum's arguing vehemently with the referee about why he's going to the box, but I mean, he's been doing this all night long. He comes steaming into the crease, causing contact with the defenseman and the goaltender in a completely unnecessary way after the whistle. He starts the whole thing. You're going to get a call eventually.
Yellum in the box for Bethel. A.J. Reed in the sin bin for the Yellow Jackets here. So it appears we're going to play 4-on-4 unless they're going to give an extra one to somebody.
I don't mind if you want to play that abrasive style, but don't be surprised when you take a penalty.
You got to own it.
Yeah. The indignant protest afterward is just a bit much.
It's not like the old days where you could actually just drive the net and take the goalie out and everybody was fine with it.
Right. Long conversation.
This is a really long conversation, which is nothing is on the board.
Does that mean coincidental roughing penalties?
It must be, and they're just gonna.
Yeah, no change in.
They're gonna play 5-on-5, I guess.
48.8 to go here. D-zone face-off for the Yellow Jackets.
Bethel controlling the face-off. It's Westland feeds it over. They score. Westland feeds Logan Anderson in the left circle. He lets a one-timer go, and Skorpic got most of it, but not enough to keep it out. And we got a 1-goal game.
Yeah, it looked like that shot just squeezed through the 5-hole there. The first blemish on the report card for Scorpic tonight, who's been solid up to this point, but that's one that he'd probably like to have back, just squeeze through.
Time of that goal, 19-18. It'll be Logan Anderson, his first. Westland will get 1 assist. We'll see about the second one. That's a killer.
Like we said, it was a key segment of the game right there.
10 Logan Anderson. He got an assist from number 23 Peyton Blair and number 29 Joe Westland.
So Blair and
That's
Westland
Anderson
get
from
the
Blair.
assists on that goal. 24 seconds left in the period, and Cade Shea on the right wing, dumps it in. Bethel will clear that right back out. Puck comes all the way down. Scorpic will leave it there behind the net for Gibbs. Gibbs is going to wait it out. I imagine he's going to be content to just sit there if Bethel's going to give it to him. And it appears that is going to be the case, as the second period is going to come to a close. Those coincidental penalties, by the way, were for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So you could have been roughing or whatever you wanted to call it, but clearly the things were a bit on the unsportsmanlike side. And now, I promise, we're going to go ringside. Abby Hoffman has Coach McKenna.
All right, Coach, after last night's loss, you said that you saw no positives from the team's performance. Tonight we were up 2-1 in shots, 24-17. They were able to sneak one in the last minute. What are you seeing that's working for the squad tonight?
Well, first off, Abby, I'm glad John's allowing you to do your job here. You know, he didn't switch over to us in the first period, but no, I think we're skating. We're getting pucks to the net while still being able to play a little bit free. Don't like the last goal we just gave up. You know, with 2 minutes to go, you just want to lock it down. But right now we seem to be in the fight. So that's what we talked about. So we just want to build off of that, win a period, win a game.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I'm glad I got to talk with you. See ya.
Thank you very much, Abby and Richard. Oh, that's funny. But corralling it back in here, touche, Richard. Well played down there. But touching on exactly what you said, playing free. That's the exact phrase that you used, and it's funny that he would say the exact same thing there.
Right, yeah, that word caught my ear as well. That's definitely what we're seeing out of this Yellow Jacket squad. And you do wonder now, looking back on it last night, we expect them to come out and play up to their talent level every night, right? And, maybe, perhaps, they were a little tight last night. They had a good crowd. It was a season opener. Maybe they were wound a little too tight. Maybe they were scared to make mistakes. Tonight, they seem to be playing a lot more free. And when there have been mistakes, for the most part, Scorpic's been there to cover it. So definitely a more free performance by UWS thus far. And aside from what happened in the last minute of that second period, a very good game for the Yellow Jackets so far.
The tricky part is, though, there's that goal in the last minute now, and
right.
That gives them a ton of momentum. Do you squeeze the stick a little harder now?
Right.
Do you start squeezing it a little bit tighter because of what happened in that final minute and start thinking, okay, wait a minute here we go again kind of thing? Or are we just, no, we're good. Just go back and keep doing what we've been doing.
Right, and from a tactical standpoint, that's consecutive nights now where a D-zone face-off has led to an immediate scoring chance and a goal for the opposition. So I'd have to imagine will continue to be a point of emphasis for the coaching staff is coverage on those D-zone face-offs, particularly at times late in the period like that.
And I think back to the second goal in the Gustavus game last Friday was also a face-off goal now. So this team has allowed 10 goals so far on the season, and 3 of those have come via face-offs. So that is definitely something that they are going to have to tighten up. Especially, they've won 2/3 of the face-offs so far here tonight, so they've been good on the draws. But in that instance, you don't win it, it ends up in the back of the net.
Right, to have played so well tonight and only be nursing a 1-goal lead going into the third doesn't feel great. You know, you feel like as good as you've played in this game, that you should have more of a margin than that, but they're going to have to work and earn this one in the third period.
2-1 Yellow Jackets after 40. We'll take a timeout and come back with our second intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. You're listening to Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. And Bethel in a very spirited contest tonight, a very well played contest so far tonight, and the Yellow Jackets up 2-1. How did we get here? Well, we were scoreless after one in what was a very entertaining first period of hockey. And then the Yellow Jackets out shooting Bethel 15-8 in that opening period, had nothing to show for it, but then in the span of 13 seconds, struck twice and opened up a 2-0 lead. First one coming Jordan Gibbs at 3:05. Let's turn your mic on.
Oh, there we go. That helps. Very good. Thank you. Yeah, always exciting to get that first college goal, and Gibbs did just that. There was a pass that was threaded through cross ice that barely got through to him, but it did get through, and he was able to fling a nice wrist shot from the point. Looked like there was some commotion out front, probably a screen. I don't think the Bethel goalie saw it as it went over his shoulder. First career goal for Jordan Gibbs.
That was at 3:05 and made it 1-0. Carson Riddle has one of the assists. They gave A.J. Reed the second assist. I'm convinced it was Alexei Yarmolnik who had the helper on that. Bradley, can we see the replay on that one, that first goal?
We put him on the spot here.
I know, I should have prepped him earlier until I thought I said a few times during the period that I wanted to see it. Where is this feedback coming from?
No.
Lots of feedback in the building tonight. Maybe it was Reed. Can we back that up just a little further again, please? This is just dynamite for the radio folks listening to us watch replays.
We want to get it right for you, folks. What can we say?
So this is not dead air. That was Riddle, and that's Yarmo. Riddle again. Yeah, it should be Yarmolnik.
Yep.
So I was right on that. So Yarmolnik gets the assist, and that makes it a 1-0 game. And then while the goal was being announced, the Yellow Jackets come back and score again. And this time it was A.J. Reed getting the goal as he got the puck top of the goal crease.
So he does get on the score sheet with this one. Not as an assist, but a goal. A nice goal going hard to the net. Quick shot up over the shoulder and in. Gives the Yellow Jackets a 2-goal lead, and we were off and running.
But as good as the period was, Bethel was able to get on the board in that final minute, and I go back to your comment of this is a very important juncture of the game, and the Jackets couldn't get through it.
Yeah, they kind of flattened out a little bit in the last couple minutes of that period. got a little lackadaisical in the defensive zone and ended up giving up an opportunity off a face-off again. And, disappointing to have that 2-goal lead cut in half so late in the period. But now they've got their work cut out for them here to start the third.
Shots on goal in the second period. The Yellow Jackets with 9 for a 2-period total of 24. Bethel also had 9 for a 2-period total of 17. Penalties in the game thus far. The Yellow Jackets have taken 5 for 10 minutes. Bethel has taken 5 for 10 minutes. On the power play, the Yellow Jackets are 0 for 3. Bethel is 0 for 3. So a very, very tight game, very close thing that we've had so far through 2 periods. Yellow Jackets 7 shots on the power play to just 1 for Bethel.
Yeah, the Yellow Jacket penalty kill has been
tremendous.
Fantastic, really all season long, but has been excellent tonight. And you can see the penalty killers who aren't on the ice. You can see them and hear them cheering on the bench for their fellow penalty killers who are on the ice. There seems to be a real esprit de corps with the penalty kill right now. And obviously it helps to keep the opposition off the scoreboard. But it also helps the whole team when you know that you're going to be able to kill off the penalties. It helps you play with a little bit more of an edge and a little bit more grit because you know you're going to be able to kill it off.
Right. Yeah, you're going to be okay. So through 7 shots on the power play for the Yellow Jackets, only 1 for Bethel thus far. Thus far, Jan Skorpik, 16 saves and goal for him tonight. He's been fantastic.
Yeah, he's been really good. A shame that last puck snuck through him because up to that point, he's been great. In the second period, he made a number of clutch saves, including one on a breakaway. Did some great work for the Yellow Jackets. I said it a few times up to that point. Every time the Jackets needed him to make a big save, he did right up till that last one. So a really good performance by Skorpik so far.
At the other end, Marco Doronio, he's got 22 stops. He's been good too.
Yeah, he's made the saves they've needed him to make. Jackets, got a couple past him there. We'll see if, he'll obviously be thinking, I've got to hold it here to give my team a chance to be able to come back in the third.
The other thing that's interesting too, Jason, is you look at these 2 goaltenders, very aggressive playing the puck.
Yes.
Both of them come out of the net. They're not afraid to get it out there early and rip it around the boards, and they both play the puck very well.
Right, they do that, and that obviously helps the defenseman out, helps the team be able to transition the puck more quickly and easily, and helps them be able to create some offense from defense.
It's our second intermission here at Westman Arena. The Yellow Jackets have a 2-1 lead over Bethel. We will take a timeout and come back with more of our second intermission programming sponsored by Hovland Incorporated right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. We're back here at Westman Arena, about 8.5 minutes away from the start of the third period. Jackets with a 2-1 lead over Bethel. If it seems like it's been a long intermission, it's because it has been. Last night they were trying to get the marsh peg out of the net. Tonight, Chuck-a-Puck took a really long time, which I guess is good because that means a lot of pucks got thrown. And I think we were a bit understaffed out there as well to corral all those pucks. We needed some of these young hockey players to go out there with skates and scoop everything up. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here around the WIAC. St. John's and Stout are tied 2-2. That is in the second period. Eau Claire with a 2-1 lead over Augsburg after 40 minutes. River Falls has moved in front of Concordia 2-1 after 2. And then elsewhere earlier today, Beloit and Hiram skated to a 3-3 tie. In the Division 1 ranks, Nebraska-Omaha salvaging a split with a 2-0 win over UMD. Arizona State salvaging a split with a 4-2 win over North Dakota. In overtime, the Badgers defeating Ohio State 6-5, and the Gophers also salvaging a split 6-3 over Long Island. So the Badgers needing overtime to get by Ohio State, but 55 years ago tonight, they did not need overtime.
That is very true. On this date in hockey history, we're going to go all the way back to November 15, 1970, which was the culmination of a big hockey weekend in Duluth Superior that still resonates today. The fun began across the bridge in Duluth, where the UMD Bulldogs posted a Friday night victory over their bitter rivals from the University of Minnesota, which was a bit of a rarity back then, not so much anymore, but back then it was. And then, of course, they completed the sweep the next night with a Saturday win. So, I mean, that was pretty epic stuff in 1970 for the Bulldogs to be able to sweep the Gophers. It was a really sweet weekend for them. And that Bulldog team was led by senior goalie Glenn Chico Resch, who would eventually become the first UMD player to appear in an NHL All-Star game, that coming 6 years later in 1976. But, that was all just a preamble to what happened on this exact date, November 15th, here in Superior, where the Yellow Jackets hosted the aforementioned University of Wisconsin Badgers for the first ever game at Westman Arena. We're celebrating that occasion tonight, right here in the very same rink. The place was packed for the Badgers and Yellow Jackets, so much so that the university limited student tickets, which earned the administration a severe thrashing in the student newspaper the following week. As it turned out, Superior State, as it was then known, also took a thrashing on the ice, with the Badgers scoring 13 of the 14 goals that were scored that evening. Despite all that, Westman Arena would soon provide a home ice advantage for the Yellow Jackets, including when they won the NAIA National Championship in 1976. And the building still looks great tonight on the 55th anniversary of that very first game. And when I say the building still looks great tonight, I mean it. Like, this place has an aesthetic that still keeps the 1970s charm, especially on the outside. Like, architecturally, it's interesting. And inside, it's bright, it's beautiful, it's modern, yet still has that 70s persona, but it's not like a dingy old place. Like,
right.
You guys have kept it up so well.
It has aged well. You know, it doesn't have a lot of the wrinkles that you would expect out of a building that is 55 years old. I mean, it's not without its warts by any means, and there are certainly some things that went into the architectural design in 1969 and 70 that you'd look at today and go, what were they thinking? You know, and of course, I always get the question, why are the seats orange? Because our colors used to be orange.
Right. And that's kind of fun. It's like a bit of a time capsule, right, with that still being orange. And then,
why are the other ones brown? I don't have an answer for you on that. I'm guessing brown seats were probably cheaper, so that's what they went with at that time.
And the building also had to move through the dawn of women's hockey, and it was not built to host locker rooms for that many different teams.
Correct.
So it's had to change with the times and advance in that way too, in addition to hosting the Spartans from the Superior High School.
Right, and that we operated right now. If you're looking at the north wall in this building, you'll see that locker rooms 1 and 2 are on one side, 3 and 4 are on the other, and basically that's all it had. And when I was playing here, we were in what is known as locker room 3 and 4. That is where the high school dress is now. We had both of those rooms. And the high school were in locker rooms 1 and 2, and that was the varsity and the junior varsity. So whenever we had somebody coming in to play us, they had to leave. And whenever they had somebody coming in and they needed to use our locker, we had to lock up. So we had to take all of our stuff, shove it into the stall, lock it up, and then whoever came in would utilize our dressing room. It stayed that way until, the women's hockey program came in, and then the high school was displaced. and essentially had to dress in like a construction trailer off the back of the building for several years until you got into 04, 05, 06 when they built the current locker room edition that houses the two UWS programs now. So it wasn't always easy, and trust me, you hated it on a Saturday night when coach would come in and go, lock up. That was never anything you enjoyed doing, but that was the reality of the situation. It's much better now with the dressing room situation they have here. Still cramped at times. I mean, if you're seeing it from camera one, which is up in the press box, you see the black drapes over there where the team is coming out right now. That is a makeshift locker room for a youth game. So, yeah, there are definitely some things that I think could have been made differently, but all in all, it's aged very well.
Have the dimensions of the ice changed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Typical NHL size rink is 200 by 85. Olympic size rink 200 by 100, and I believe the rink here is like 195 by 87, I believe. And it wasn't always like that, but when they took, it would have been maybe 2003-ish, when they put in the new floor and they put in new boards and everything, the coaching staff at the time wanted deeper corners. And so they did change the dimension and make the rink a little bit wider. Well, why not go to 200 feet? Why 197? If you've been here, there is no room at the ends of the rink here. It is very tight back there, so you don't have room to grow it that way. You only have room if you're going to grow it wider. And even at this point, you can't go any wider. If you had to, you have no room back there, and then you have bleachers on this side. So this is about max size rink that you could put together.
In terms of playing surfaces, obviously you spent a lot of time on this rink as a player. Would you rate your time in Sioux City as the most unusual dimensions that you ever played on?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I grew up in Chisholm, and we had a very small facility there. Our ice sheet was smaller than most. The building itself was smaller, very low ceiling. It was a small rink. And compared to the Hibbing Memorial Building, the IRA Civic Center, Hodgson's Berardo, the Miners Memorial, even up in Babbitt. Those rinks were all bigger. They had high ceilings, and Chisholm was more like Ashland with a really, really low ceiling. But it was a smaller ice sheet than all of those ones. Hibbing was Olympic size. It could be converted to Olympic size. But yeah, nothing was smaller than the shoebox in Sioux City. I mean, that was, I believe, again, 200 by 85 is regulation, and I think the sheet there was like 165 by 75 or something like that. It was tiny. You got the red line, you had a really good shot. And so that was the I'm not sure if I still have the record or not, but that is how I scored the fastest goal to start a period, not the first period in USHL history. Back in November of '92. Derek Locker pushes it forward. I took one stride, wound up, and ripped it and scored. It was 5 seconds in.
Easy game.
Both teams back on the ice here after that trip down memory lane. That was a very good this day in hockey history, Jason. Jackets going left to right across your radio dial here in the third. The faceoff was controlled here by Bethel. They dumped it in. Danziger for the Yellow Jackets sends it the other way. It's going to come all the way down, and that's going to result in icing. Face-off coming back here in the Yellow Jacket zone. The Yellow Jacket volleyball team has been dismissed from the UMAC postseason, falling in 4 sets to conference champion Northwestern. So congratulations to the Yellow Jacket volleyball team, though. They put on a good run here this season and in the postseason as well. Face-off will be to Scorpix right now. It's controlled here by by Bethel rather. They play it deep. It comes behind the net. Kagawa's got it on the left wing side. Chips that one off the boards, but it's not going to leave the zone. Dauphiné tried to chop it out. That's not going to go. Tyler Ryder able to flip that one in the air to neutral. Now Dauphiné has it here. He crosses the line. Dauphiné gets around the defender, but a nice job by Spring to break up the play, and then Dauphiné throws it toward the front of the net. Goes off the side, and then right up the slot. I believe that one was unintentional. It had enough steam on it to come all the way down the ice. Now Dauphiné up the right wing, crosses the Bethel line, right circle, drops it off. Kagawa walks into the net, gets around a man and shoots, and the save is made by Deronio. Defenseman fell down, and all of a sudden the lane just opened up wide for Ikki Kagawa, and he walked right through the goal mouth. Puck back the other way now. Brasini across the Yellow Jacket line. A shot left circle, and the save is made by Skorpic. Rebound will carry him all the way out to the neutral zone. High flying excitement here in the first 2 minutes of period number 3. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. On the left wing, Cade Shea moves that one ahead for Ishmael. Ishmael up the wing into the Bethel zone. Left circle, it rolls off. His stick comes in on goal, and Doronio makes the save. Now behind the goal, Ishmael for Setter. Blake Setter back to Ishmael, left wing corner. He throws that one to the front of the net, off the stick of Doronio. Clearing attempt held in by Axel. His shot is going to be deflected by Shea and end up in the right wing corner. Now behind the net, it's controlled here by Bethel. They throw that one ahead for Brasini on the left wing, but he can't get a stick on it, and it's going to be icing on Bethel.
Kagawa with another great chance there. It's kind of been the story of the season so far for him in the early going. Got a great chance. Just wasn't quite able to finish it, but nice job creating there. And then Brasini with a good chance going the other way. Skorpic making a big save to keep this thing 2-1.
Face-off is going to be controlled by Jackets momentarily, but now Bethel back the other way. Lavelle up the left wing. Carries it down to the corner. Yellow Jackets break that one up. Whitehouse tried to skate it out but couldn't. Now Brazil carries behind the net, comes out right circle, turns it, fires, and a save is made by Skorpic. That one got in faster than I think anybody expected. Now Carson Riddle in the middle. Yarmolnik across the line, but he stick handled one too many times at the blue line, and the Yellow Jackets are going to be called for an offside.
Bethel generating some good opportunities here in the early going of this third period. UWS being pressed at this point. Really needs to play with the puck a bit and force the Royals to have to defend for a few shifts here.
Berezowski for Bethel. Slides that one over for Yellum. Yellum now carries all the way over to the left wing. Check that, it's Kring, not Yellum. 18, not 8. Gets the puck into the Yellow Jacket zone, right corner. Dauphiné picks it up, then loses it. It comes right up the slot. Kagawa throws it to the right wing for Roosevelt, but he couldn't handle the pass. Now Max Hamstead has it for Bethel. Wraparound attempt right side of the net. Save made by Skorpic. Comes all the way back up to the right point. Berezowski's pass hits a skate. Jackets back the other way. Dauphiné's feed out of the reach of Roosevelt. He catches up to it in the right wing corner of the Bethel zone. Kring ties it up along the end boards. 5-car pile up along the end board behind the Bethel net. Dauphiné losing his footing. Slowly getting back to his skates. Or check that was Kagawa, not Dauphiné. Meanwhile, Brazil back the other way for Bethel. 1-on-3, shot left circle, save Skorpic. They're not afraid to shoot the puck here in this third period. Already 4 shots on net. It's only interference until it's not. In this case, it isn't. Puck played back into the Bethel zone now. Backing up with it, Jamison O'Flynn. O'Flynn dumps it into the Yellow Jacket territory. Axel chases it down. He plays that one up the right wing, not out of the zone. Westland turns and fires. That's going to be blocked. So the edict, I think, coming out was we need to shoot the puck more, shoot from everywhere. Because Bethel is really letting it rip here in this third period. Pass ahead on the right wing out of the reach of Austin Paul. He runs into O'Flynn behind the net. Loose puck taken here by Tuo Mioksa. Rupe Tuo Mioksa leaving it now for Larson. Larson gets away from a check, has it left wing corner, gets away from another. Up top, Gibbs left point, right point, Whitehouse. That shot's going to miss wide. It's picked up behind the net by Austin Paul. Paul for the Yellow Jackets on the end board, carries to the left wing corner, turns and fires from a sharp angle. That's swallowed up by Doronio, and he is going to hang on, and we're going to get a face-off coming up here in the Bethel zone.
That's the shift the Yellow Jackets needed there. A little sustained zone time, grinding the pucks in the corners, down below goal line extended, being able to hold on to the puck for a little while and force the Royals to have to defend and not just be in defense mode themselves back in their own end.
False start on the face-off. We'll do it again.
Had a few of those tonight.
There's been a couple. Remember during COVID and they didn't dismiss the centers at all?
I don't want to remember
Now
that.
they're back to that. Jackets win the face-off here. The shot by Gibbs at the left point gets blocked. Jackets able to hold the zone, though, as Setter gets it at the line and fires it deep. Right wing corner, Setter gives down low for Shea. Centering pass out front. It's loose. Setter fires and scores! Blake Setter created a ton of offense in that right wing corner that goes top shelf, and it's 3-1.
Just what the doctor ordered for the Yellow Jackets there. Some sustained offensive zone time. Ends up generating a scoring chance, and again, a nice quick shot from Setter. Restores that 2-goal margin for the Yellow Jackets.
Setter starts the play by holding the zone at the line, then won the race to the puck in the right corner and ends up getting the puck in front. Didn't even know he scored, but he wires it top shelf. His first of the season, and the 2-goal lead is back.
Yeah, a bit of a delayed reaction there, but a good celebration once he saw the net move.
I'm going to guess Shea and Ishmael will get the assists.
It's his first goal of the season and third of his career. Number 11, Blake Setter. He got an assist from number 23, Chris Ishmael, and number 12, Cade Shea. Setter from Ishmael and Shea.
So Setter from Ishmael and Shea on that one, getting the Yellow Jackets that 2-goal lead back. Now Carson Riddle back the other way. Takes a long shot. Deronio's going to make the save. He'll hang on to that, and we'll get a face-off coming up here in the Bethel zone. 14:32 remaining here in period number 3. It's a 3-1 Yellow Jacket lead. I feel like they weathered that storm a little bit for the first 5 minutes because Bethel really came out gunning. And they did a really nice job settling things down a little bit there and then getting that big goal.
Really good response in the last 2 minutes. And sometimes the best defense is a good offense, just being able to have some puck possession. And UWS changed the game by just having the puck in the offensive zone for a while.
On the right wing side, this is Roosevelt down right corner, carries behind the net, tries to drive it to the net. Jamison O'Flynn does a good job to knock him off the play. Now Roosevelt on the left wing side has it here. Roosevelt gives it down low for Kagawa, left circle, out front, Roosevelt redirection, and the save is made. Or check that, it was Bergstrom rather on the redirection. As he snuck down from the blue line. Some nifty stick handling by Kagawa there to find him.
Right, yeah, good job creating the play, and kudos to Bergstrom for jumping in there. Again, we're seeing those defensemen activate and doing it, making good choices about when to activate as well.
I like the fact that basically all 6D tonight at some point have jumped up.
Yeah.
Like even Liam Whitehouse, who's not the most offensively inclined defenseman, he's jumped up in there multiple times tonight.
Yeah, he's had his moments. They've been good choices.
Peyton Blair for Bethel carries it to center. Crosses the red and dumps it in. It comes around. Kring on the right side holds and drives it deep again. Kring at the right point. Stick handles away from trouble. Kagawa blows a tire, but almost really effectively cleared the zone with that. And now he is going to manage to get it to neutral ice. It's going to be picked up there and driven back into the Yellow Jacket zone by Svendal. Now Axel on the left wing. Pitchforks that on the backhand all the way down, and that's going to result in an icing call. Face-off coming back here in the Yellow Jacket zone.
Kagawa tried to get off the ice there, tried to sneak off, and referee went over and said, no, sorry, you got to come back out here on that icing call. He had to work hard to get that puck out of the zone. He'll be looking to get off as soon as he can here.
You notice there you haven't seen Logan Nickerson since the first period, and I'm wondering if is that re-aggravation of injury or is this load management? To quote LeBron James. Because he is still on the bench. And I would imagine if it's injury, he wouldn't be. At any rate, we're back to live action here. Just an observation from the guys upstairs. Dauphiné on the right wing will carry it out into the neutral zone. 2-on-2 with Kagawa, who's got it now. Kagawa right circle on the backhand again. He lifts that over the top of the goal. Lavelle for Bethel now. Out into the neutral zone. Dishes it ahead on the right wing. Jack Brown is looking for Brasini in front, but that one's not going to connect. Dauphiné picks it up here. He'll bank it off the boards and I guess bank it off somebody on the bench. Which makes me wonder, is that another one of these situations of somebody hanging over? I couldn't tell.
Meanwhile, Austin Paul absorbing some late shoves after the play down on the other end of the ice, but nothing further comes of it. He wisely skated away and didn't take the bait there.
Quick shot off the faceoff. Skorpic to save it. He stops the rebound as well. Two very quick opportunities from point-blank range. Now Ishmael back the other way up the right wing. Hits the brakes in the right circle. Up top for Whitehouse. Takes the shot. It gets through. Deronio makes the save. In the right wing corner, Setter battling forward. He pushes it back behind the goal. Berezowski there. Gives it on the right wing. The clearing attempt is going to be held in. Now it does come out to neutral as Gibbs drives it back in. And Berezowski will carry it to center. Across the line, he dumps it in, then runs over to Omioksa. Blake Setter doesn't like that, but as a result of that play, it's going to be an offside. Neutral zone faceoff coming. 12:25 to go. Are you familiar with the song Rock Lobster?
Absolutely.
You don't get enough of that at sporting events. You really don't.
No.
Austin Paul up the right wing across the line. A shot. Glove save Deronio. He'll hang on. You don't get a lot of B-52s from the 70s, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But you don't get enough rock lobster.
Yeah,
you just don't.
The playlist for the B-52s is typically about one deep.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate.
Right, because rock lobster is really the best.
It absolutely is. It would be at the top of the charts. I'll even give you a 1 and a 1A there.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, it didn't hit that 80s pop music heavy rotation like Love Shack did.
Right.
Everything you didn't know, you wanted to know about Fred Schneider and the B-52s right there. Back to center now. Bethel from the right wing. Lavelle plays it in. Danziger circles his net and starts up the right wing. Moves it ahead for Tuo Mioksa. He gets crunched in front of the Bethel bench. Manages to maintain control. The puck and get it down low. Kring behind the net. Sidesteps Larson, but now Larson has the puck. He's wrapped up along the end board, still feeds it to Omioksa, centering attempt. It's loose right side of the net. Deronio didn't have it. Quick whistle there as Larson was looking for it, as was Yarmolnik.
Good shift by Tuomioxa there. Had a good stick to break up a potential exit pass. Got the puck back. Was able to create a scoring opportunity with the wraparound. And then Rossini giving him a little bit of a rough ride, and he was wise enough to just skate away and not take any kind of retaliation penalty after the whistle.
Riddle in to take the draw to the left of Marco Deronio. 29 saves for him at this juncture of the hockey game. The Jackets nearing their season high for shots on goal. Actually, I wonder, do they face off controlled here by the Yellow Jackets? Oh yeah, they passed it by quite a bit. Well done, fellas. In the high slot, it's A.J. Reed now. Had it, then lost it, and Bethel will clear that out to neutral ice. Across the Yellow Jacket line they come. That hits a skate. Ends up in the right wing corner of the Yellow Jacket zone. Dusty Bergstrom walks away with it here. Goes up the right side. Now back behind the net, this is Evan Axel for the Yellow Jackets as we approach the 9-minute mark of the third period. 3-1 Yellow Jackets. O'Flynn chases it down in his own zone. Jackets regain control here. This is Kagawa. Knocked off the play by Jamison O'Flynn. He'll curl back behind his net and feed it over on the right wing. Kostelecki comes away with it there. Tyler Kostelecki across the Yellow Jacket line takes a shot from a sharp angle that goes wide. O'Flynn from the left point takes a shot. Yarmolnik gets a stick on that, and he'll deflect that over the glass and out of play.
Good stick on puck there by Yarmolnik, making sure that did not get on goal. The fact that it left the rink gives the Yellow Jackets a chance to change up that line here for this key defensive zone faceoff.
10:37 remaining. Third period, 3-1 Yellow Jackets. They'll be back on the road next Friday. Hobbs Ice Arena in Eau Claire to take on the Blue Golds in their WIAC opener. Jackets controlling it here now. Tuomioksa to center. Cuts over to the right wing with it. Rupe Tuomioksa, right circle behind the net now. Comes out left circle. Takes it to the slot, fires, and that one catches traffic in front. Tuomioksa again goes down the boards looking for Roosevelt. That's not going to connect, and it comes back out to neutral. Gibbs takes it there, and he'll drive it back in. Comes all the way around to the right wing side. Dauphiné had it go off a skate. Peyton Blair for Bethel takes it here. Feeds it rink wide. Westland, and he'll send it into the Yellow Jacket zone, but Ryder breaks it up. Now Tuomioksa comes across the Bethel line. Picked up the puck. There was nobody there, but the D were changing, and all of a sudden it was a 1-on-2.
Went from looking like a breakaway to a 1-on-2 really quick.
Berezowski for Bethel up the left wing, drives it in. It comes around the boards behind the net. Right wing corner, Yellow Jacket zone. Puck pushed back behind the net to the left wing corner now. Chased down there by Hamstead. Max Hamstead pushes it deep. Now Setter picks it up for the Jackets and carries it to center. A sophomore from Calgary with the most recent goal here for the Yellow Jackets. Gets it deep and it's loose behind the net. Ishmael all kinds of wrapped up trying to get loose there, and the arms stay down, play continuing on as Berezowski carries it to center, crosses the Yellow Jacket line and pushes it down low. Now Setter's got it. He'll bank it off the left wing boards, and that's going to come all the way down the ice. Icing waved off. Larson takes his man into the boards momentarily, but getting away from that check was Peterson. And he'll start Brown back the other way. Jack Brown up the left wing into the Yellow Jacket zone. Carries down to the corner. Sharp angle shot is going to be grabbed by Jan Skorpic, and he'll hold on. And we'll have a face-off coming up here in the Yellow Jacket zone, and trying to figure out what's going on with the lines here. I don't know if somebody's dinged up or what, because Iki Kagawa wasn't on his last shift. We haven't seen Logan Nickerson. AJ Reed appeared to be hobbled when he was going off the ice at one point. So I'm a little curious as we move through this media timeout what's going on over there on the home team's bench. But it does give me an opportunity to ask you, if you've downloaded Swarm Central, the official rewards and loyalty app of the Yellow Jackets, get started and receive 200 points for registering, 200 more for downloading the app. Redeem your points for cool prizes in the Swarm Central store. Find Swarm Central in the Apple and Google stores today. And I can confirm there is absolutely nothing in the Swarm Central store related to rock lobster.
When was the last time you ate a lobster, John? You a seafood guy?
I do enjoy seafood, yeah. I know it's a very polarizing protein for a lot of people.
When you were out in Boston last year, did you guys have some big seafood?
Oh, we definitely did. We definitely did, yeah. The restaurant in our hotel had a very good seafood menu.
Nice.
Yes, they had a shrimp and lobster Alfredo that was so good I ate it twice.
That had to be a great trip.
And then,
a successful trip, but also a fun trip.
Yes, it was a fun trip because they won, and you don't get a physique like mine by not exploring the local food culture, and without a doubt, the seafood there was fantastic. I mean, the real clam chowder,
Yes.
You never know what you're getting when you order it in a restaurant here. Out there, you know exactly what you're getting. This food review brought to you by KUWS Radio. Peterson at the left point, walks it to the middle and fires. That goes wide. Cade Shea on the left wing gets knocked down. Meanwhile, Brasini back the other way with a shot from the right circle, and Skorpic makes the save on that. Puck's loose behind the goal, swept away from trouble by Liam Whitehouse, but Bethel regaining control here. Brown in the left wing corner, tied up by Carson Riddle. Then Riddle knocked down by Brown. The puck's going to get past Peterson and come to neutral ice. On the left wing boards, Cade Shea goes to dump it in and kind of whiffed on it, and Bethel able to intercept that and quickly come back the other direction. They dump it into Yellow Jacket territory. Skorpic out of the net. Pushes it to the right wing boards where he's got Danziger, now up the wing for Yarmolnik as we pass the 12-minute mark of this third period. 3-1 Yellow Jackets. Yarmolnik now, 2 assists for him tonight. Gets it up to the line. Danziger drives it. No, he did not hold the zone. Maybe he should have a longer stick and he would have been able to hold the zone on that one.
That great zone exit by the Yellow Jackets was another example of what you talked about earlier, though. Skorpic aggressively coming out behind the net, making a really deft backhanded play to be the first attacker, really, to lead that rush the other way for the Yellow Jackets. Making life easy for his defenseman on the breakout.
Puck dumped into the Bethel zone. Kagawa back on the ice for the Jackets. Has it left wing. Sends it up top to Ryder. Back down for Kagawa. He tipped it to the middle, but nobody in a gold sweater there. So back the other way come the Royals. Brazil on the left wing. Punches that toward the net, but Skorpic is able to guide that to the left wing corner. Now Brazil behind the net. Feeds it for Kostalecki, whose pass hits the cage. Brazil tried to center. Jackets able to break that one up. Puck played back down behind the net now. Ryder fans on the clearing attempt. Puck comes back around to the left wing corner. Good tennis match going on here between the right and left wing corners. Puck finally up the boards and flipped to center by Roosevelt. Jamison O'Flynn for Bethel has it. He'll play it up the left wing for Brazil. Connor Brazil dumps it in. Now Dauphiné moves it behind the goal here. It's Bergstrom, and he'll flip that to neutral ice. Knocked down with a glove by McIsaac. Gives to Logan Anderson. He's got the goal here for Bethel. Then he turns it over, and Roosevelt plays it to the right wing corner. Now Shea is down there. McIsaac wraps him up. Logan Anderson sends it ahead for Blair on the left wing. He carries to center. He'll weave all the way over to the right wing. Comes into the Yellow Jacket zone with speed. Centering pass up the slot. Logan Anderson's shot hits traffic in front. And now Ishmael's got it for the Jackets and carries back the other way. Wanted to go rink wide for Setter on the right wing, but that's blocked. Now Blair back on the attack. Takes the shot. Skorpic makes the save. Jackets regain control, but can't clear it out. Now they do. Comes out to neutral ice. McIsaac does the Jackets a favor by knocking it out of the air because that easily would have been icing. On the left wing, Cade Shea tips that down into the Bethel zone as we pass the 14-minute mark of the third period. 3-1, the Jackets in front. On the right wing, across the Yellow Jacket line, George Peterson stripped to the puck by Jordan Gibbs. His backhand up the left wing doesn't leave the zone. Gets that stick up a little bit high as he takes down one of the Bethel forwards. Then a huge check right in front of the bench as Cade Shea was rocked, but he got the puck ahead for Setter. Blake Setter on the right wing. Has it poked off his stick. Whitehouse plays it right back in. Peterson for Bethel feeds Brown on the left wing boards, but Riddle on the back check separates him from the puck. And it's going to be Tuomioksa back the other way now. Rupe Tuomioksa on the one-handed shot there, and the save is made by Deronio. Now Riddle's got it right circle, gets away from one man, drives it to the front of the net before it's poked off his stick. And it's going to come back out into the neutral zone. Rupe Tuomioksa's got it there. Now for Danziger, up the right wing, Riddle, he dumps it in. Deronio behind his goal, plays it back up the left wing boards. Carson Riddle in the right corner for the Jackets has it. Riddle now carries back up the boards, floats it up top. Ryder at the left point, plays it deep. Behind the net, this is Yarmulnik. He's knocked down by Beacom on the play. And Bethel will come away with the puck and speed to center with it here now. Brasini drops it off for Beacom. Overskating at Kagawa. Beacom gets it back. He turns and fires well wide. The puck ends up in the left wing corner. Now the puck played back down to the corner again. Right wing side this time. Centering feed off a skate. Beacom in the right circle, a backhand. Jackets get a stick on that and deflect it over the top of the net. Kostalecki left corner. Feeds that one out front. Brazil with a shot, and the save is made by Skorpic. As Brazil did a really nice move there, using his body to shield the puck and get away from Tyler Ryder, but Jan Skorpic right there to make the save.
Good sequence for the Royals, but Skorpic was up to the challenge. Skorpic lifts up the mask, going to go for a little water. We've got a little stoppage coming here.
It's like Bethel is going to utilize their timeout. And let's see if Coach Chris McKelvey is going to play the Rich McKenna card and get the goaltender out with 4 minutes left in a 2-goal game.
Yeah, you could definitely see that potentially happening. He's got the whiteboard over on the bench right now, drawing some things up. And as we talked about last night, that seems to be the trend now, to pull the goalie earlier than it was in previous generations. And with the way that Skorpic's played tonight, can't really question, can't fault that. I mean, they need to do what they can to generate some offense at this point. Doesn't matter if you lose 3-1, 4-1.
Right.
You got to give yourself a chance here. So wouldn't be a bit surprised to see them put the extra attacker out right away.
Regardless of outcome, though, I would think that both coaches are probably pleased with the effort they got on the heels of last night.
Yes, I would think that it's going to be hard for the Royals coaching staff to accept a moral victory if that's the way this thing ends up going. But yes, I mean, obviously better than coming out, giving up 4 in the first period the way they did last night, having a team hang 8 on them.
Right. Yeah, they've clearly tightened things up defensively from where they were last evening.
And for UWS, it's been a completely different team than
night
last
and day.
night. So
night and day.
It's been fantastic.
It's got to be the jerseys.
Yeah.
Face off to Skorpik's right. Empty net at the other end, so Bethel is going to remove goaltender Deronio. Yellow Jackets have been good in the face-off all night, but Ishmael's stick disintegrating on the draw, so we have a player without Lumber out there right now. Or now he magically has Lumber.
Kate Shea
gave him his stick, and now Shea, closest to the bench, is able to grab Lumber there as well. So very headsy play by the sophomore forward of the Yellow Jackets. Kring at the right point, gives it down the boards, now up to Brasini at the left point, but it's going to hop his stick. Bethel's going to have to come out into the neutral zone here with 3:45 to play in the third. Jackets leading 3-1. Peyton Blair played that one up the boards. Now Logan Anderson's got it. Rink-wide feed on the right wing for Brasini. He dumps it in. Right wing corner, Yellow Jacket zone. Ryder gets there first, but puts it right on the tape of Westland, who has it for Bethel. Now to Brasini on the right wing side. Behind the net, Brown sends that around to the left wing boards. Intercepted there by Blake Setter. He tried to clear, but it was blocked. Second attempt also doesn't come out of the zone. Jack Brown on the left wing boards for Bethel. Moves it up top at the left point, Brasini. Into the middle for Kring. Back to Brasini. A long shot. He scores. I'm guessing it was deflected in front as Joe Westland blew a kiss up to the sky there. So a redirection of that shot from the blue line. He's also leading the celebration train, which leads me to believe he gets it. And it's a 1-goal game.
Yeah, not much the Jackets could have done differently there. Just the extra player gave the Royals the opportunity to maintain possession, create a shot from the point, and a nice touch on the redirect there to make it a 1-goal game again with 3:01 remaining in this third period.
16:59 the time, so plenty of time here for this one to get even more interesting than it just got. Should be Westland his second from from Brown and Brasini. That's what I'm guessing it is.
Deronio obviously back in the cage here for the Royals.
For the time being anyway, and we'll see if the Jackets can apply a little bit of pressure in the offensive zone. At center, Bergstrom dishes it off Yarmolnik. Bouncing puck.
Bethel was number 29, Joe Westland. He got an assist from number 24, Tyler Brasini. And number 18, Spencer Kring.
So Kring gets the other assist. I was giving it to Jack Brown. They gave it to Kring. At 16:59. So we got 2:20 to go here in this third period. Jackets up 3-2. Puck is in their zone. Deronio to the bench again. Kostelecki now carries it up into the high slot. Fires through a screen. Save made by Skorpik. Rebound, and Skorpik stops that as well. Tries to get the glove down and actually plays that one to Roosevelt, and his clearing attempt is going to be held in. Kind of question putting that puck back in play there. Logan Anderson behind the net for Bethel. Sends that one up top to the right point, Kring. Under 2 minutes to play here now, third period. Yellow Jacket leading 3-2. Redirection in front is going to miss just wide. Now Kring gives to Logan Anderson. Jackets are exhausted and need a change. Anderson in the left wing corner. Plays it down low to Westland. Now gets it back. Up top to the left point. It gets past Kring, and that's going to come out to neutral ice. So the Jackets are going to change a few, but not everybody. And then they dodge a bullet as Bethel will be called for an offside. Whew.
That helps.
You look up and you see all 5 guys heading for the bench, and the puck is only at the red line. It's like, gentlemen, not yet.
1 minute, 27 seconds remaining in this one. Face-off comes back on Bethel's half of the ice.
Ishmael, Riddle, and Shea the forwards. Danziger and Ryder, the defenseman. Goaltender Deronio back in the net. Bethel winning the faceoff. Brasini through center, bounces off the check of Riddle and drives it in. Deronio to the bench. Danziger gets there first. He gets taken down in the corner. Puck comes free behind the net. Ryder's got it there. He's run into. Westland has it right wing corner. Sends it up top to the right point for Kring. Kring gives it back down for Blair, right circle. Back up top for Kring. Brasini left point takes the shot. It's blocked by Riddle with under a minute to play. Now a shot from the sharp angle is loose at the left side of the net. Skorpic gets the blocker down and is able to secure that puck against the post. And we'll get a stoppage here with 45.5 seconds left.
That was close. That puck was laying almost on the goal line.
You wonder how much of that was due to the extra work that was being done near the post?
Right, true, yeah. Because there were plenty of workers in there.
Yes, there were. Face off to Skorpic's right. 45.5 seconds to go. 3-2 Yellow Jackets. Bethel's been good in the face-off dot this third period, especially down the stretch. Ishmael and Brown do the honors. Bethel's got it. It's Brasini at the left point. Feeds it into the high slot for Kring. He takes the shot. It's tipped and goes wide of the mark. Now on the left side, Shea whiffs on the clearing attempt as Kring holds it. 25 seconds to play. Brown from the left circle, the shot. That doesn't go. Whitehouse gets there, goes to clear. Brasini holds it in. Puck played toward the net. Skorpic gets a stick on it. Behind the net, Anderson, 15 seconds to go. Anderson sends that one up top for Brasini, but a really good stick by Cade Shea deflects it to neutral ice. Bethel tags up. Yellow Jackets have an opportunity to clear here. Final seconds are going to tick off, and the Jackets survive tonight.
That deflection by Cade Shea might have saved the game.
It absolutely may have, because Cade Shea did a great job getting a stick on that saucer pass and deflecting it out into the neutral zone, and Bethel was never able to recover.
Hard-fought victory for the Yellow Jackets. Wow.
It is definitely one of those just what the doctor ordered kind of moments. Especially on the heels of last night. A good, solid, all-around effort by the Yellow Jackets here in this one. But, boy, some really tense moments there in that third period.
Yeah, for a game that at a few different points felt comfortable, it ended up being anything but for UWS.
And those last 5 minutes, I mean, Bethel, I'll give them all the credit in the world. They were flying around the offensive zone. And you're seeing those moments where it looks like the Jackets are going to be able to get to a puck behind the net and get the puck out. I'm thinking of Tyler Ryder there on the last shift. And then the Bethel player reading that play well ahead of time and making a beeline for the end there, taking that path away from him and not allowing him any opportunity to get that puck out of the zone. But the very underrated play by Cade Shea there to get that stick on that saucer pass.
Yeah, sticks in lanes and sometimes even lanes in the air, and that one was a potential game saver there.
I'm hanging it here because Abby is down there, and we will see if she will grab anybody coming off the ice. She's at a bit of a distance here, so I'd like to see her get a little bit closer to the door.
That's a good hockey game tonight.
Very good, entertaining game tonight. You know, a lot of credit to the Yellow Jackets for answering. Plenty of credit to Bethel for, answering as well.
Yeah, that was fun. A good finish to the weekend.
Handshake is being completed. Yellow Jackets are about to salute the home crowd after a one-win weekend here on home ice. And I think it's pretty safe to say, make no mistake, I think this Bethel club is going to make some noise in the MIAC.
Yeah, I think that as the season goes on, they clearly have the capability. It's been a rough start, but I don't think they're going to finish the way they've started.
No, and you have a club, too, that, I mean, There's definitely some skill there.
Yep.
They've got really good team speed.
Yes.
You know, and they have a couple of very dynamic players as well. So it's, in my opinion, a team that's definitely going to be able to make a little bit of noise here down in the MIAC. Probably the largest post-game prayer we've seen here in a while, as the bulk of the Bethel club is in here, and it's something that's kind of become a tradition here over the last 4 or 5 years, where you do see this. And you know, for some schools that have a religious affiliation, it's the norm.
Right.
You know, for a public university like UW Superior, it's not necessarily the norm.
Good to see it. And the fellowship afterwards, several players hanging around on the ice to talk to each other from the opposing teams. You know, in this day and age, there's so many opportunities to play with and against each other in the junior ranks, and some of them in the high school ranks. And they build a lot of relationships outside of playing for their college teams.
And we're going to take her down to ice level here. Looks like Abby Hoffman is with Jordan Gibbs.
All right, I am here with Jordan Gibbs. The team had great energy tonight. You guys came through and pulled out the W, and your first career goal of the season and ever. How do you feel?
I think we did great. I got the pucks deep, and I kept it simple and relied on each other.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
Thanks for talking. Back to you, John.
All right, thank you very much, Abby. So Jordan Gibbs' first collegiate goal. We'll talk a little bit about that, but all in all,
we got to get him to
talk a little bit more.
Expound a little bit. Like, it's okay. You can talk about it. It's all right.
It's always funny when you catch players in that situation too, because you're used to the NHL guys, and by and large, they're coached through it and are kind of told. I'm guessing there's a producer down there with them that hands them the headset and is like, here's what they're going to ask you.
Yeah.
And we just kind of grab these guys and go, hey, we're going to ask you questions now. So it's totally different. But good job down there, Abby. Thank you very much for what you added here to the broadcast tonight. At any rate, final score here tonight, the Yellow Jackets with a 3-2 victory over Bethel. We'll take a break and come back with the postgame show, sponsored by Synovus Energy and the Superior Refinery right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. We're back here at Westman Arena. It's the post-game show sponsored by Synovus Energy and the Superior Refinery, and it comes following a thrilling 3-2 win for the Yellow Jackets here tonight. And Jason, what can be termed as a much-needed win. I don't want to say must-win. Whenever I hear the phrase must-win, I think of our old athletic trainer Dave Kroll and him always bringing up Marv Levy. And, must win. World War II, that was a must win.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting to be in a position like UWS was in this early in the season in a non-conference game. Not the kind of situation you'd traditionally think of as a key game on the schedule. But after what happened last night, this became a key game on the schedule for UWS, and the response was a really good one.
But at the same time, okay, this is Game 5. That's 20% of your schedule. So
it gets late early.
It gets late early. That was exactly what I was going to say, and that's the situation this team found itself in after what happened last night. So I was really happy to see the response that we saw here tonight, and honestly, I was glad to see him face a little adversity in that third period too. I mean, it wasn't easy.
Yeah, they couldn't run away.
I got a message from Coach McKenna's dad saying, "Can we ever make this easy?" No, Squire, we cannot. That is not in. We're not built that way. But there was nothing easy about that tonight. And in the third period, they bent and they didn't break, and they got what they needed. And I'm proud of the way that they came out tonight and basically kept that up throughout the entire game. And I'm extremely proud of Jan Skorpic.
Yes, absolutely. He did a great job tonight. He was there when they needed him, and you look at the stat line, and it's not going to be eye-popping, 30 saves and gave up 2 goals. But when you look at the quality of some of the saves he had to make, and the timeliness of some of the saves he had to make, he did a great job for him tonight, and that's where it all starts. You need to have good goaltending if you're going to win games.
And in that third period, I mean, you're looking at he saw 15 shots that period, and there was some pretty high quality there, like you said. So I thought he was
extended time with the goalie pulled, an extra attacker.
So I mean, he was really, really good in that third period, and it kind of makes me want 3 starts out of the first 5 games, 4 appearances in the first 5 games. We've been goalie rich. We've had the 3 goalie platoon going. Is he kind of grabbing it now?
Right.
It kind of makes you wonder, because you'd have a really hard time not going back to him next Friday in that conference opener.
Right, and some of the intangibles you mentioned as well, his ability to be able to play pucks, lessens the burden on the defenseman a little bit, helps with the breakout, helps generate a little more transition offense, and that was something that the team was able to take advantage of tonight. So, yeah, all good things with Skorpic right now.
Let's jump into the post-game summary. It was a scoreless first period, but it shouldn't have been. It was wildly entertaining. I mean, the hockey was tremendous. The pace was fantastic, especially in the first 5 to 10 minutes, because Bethel was jumping right out of the gate tonight, and the pace was frantic, I believe is the word that I used. One of the best periods of hockey that we've seen here in a while, and granted it was a scoreless period, but man, what great hockey.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. Sometimes scoreless periods can be a little bit of a stinker, but that was anything but.
Shots on goal in the first period favoring the Yellow Jackets at 15-8, so they definitely had the territorial advantage in that opening frame. In the second period, a little more of the same. They came out and they were moving a little bit. Then things got a little bit on the ragged side. I don't know. I can't remember the word you used. Was it ragged?
Might have been ragged.
Might have been ragged, but things got a little more ragged in the second period, especially the defensive zones. But the Yellow Jackets were able to take advantage of some of that and get those first 2 goals. And being able to score twice in a span of 13 seconds and kind of take the big exhale after what happened last night, I think was such a key thing for this team.
We talked about it in the pregame. The first key to the game was the team that scored first was going to get a big lift after what happened last night. It's always important to score first, but tonight it felt like there was a little extra importance on it. And for UWS to get that first one, but like you said, come right back and extend the lead so quickly, definitely had to be a big lift for the Yellow Jackets.
Abby had Jordan Gibbs just after the game down at rinkside, and he scored that first goal, taking the wrist shot from the left point that I don't know if it was deflected, if it hit a defenseman or what. No matter what it was, it definitely fooled Deronio.
Right, it looked like a UWS player cut across the crease right as the shot was coming through, and he had a defender engaged with him. So it was a lot of humanity flashing right in front of the goaltender as that puck was coming through. Ended up being a bit of a seeing eye shot, but quick release on that shot as well. He didn't dust it off. He got it and let it fly. Ended up in the back of the net. A fun way to get that first goal of the game and also first goal of his college career.
Jordan Gibbs with the shot from the left point at 3:05 of the second period puts the Yellow Jackets in front. Oh, we don't have that one. Okay, never mind.
Just kidding.
And there's no goal call on the second one either, because as we were listening to Mark Fleischer announce the first goal, Yellow Jackets come back and score goal number 2. And take us through that one, because that was just bang, bang.
Right, it was good play behind the net in the corners below the goal line for UWS. They were able to get a quick centering pass out, and A.J. Reed was in the right place at the right time, quickly elevated a shot from right alongside the net there and was able to find an opening and extend that lead, like you said, just 13 seconds after the first goal.
Yeah, watching the play right now, Ryder dumped it in.
Yarmolnik with a
was
good
there
retrieval
first
there
and found Reed coming right down the slot from in tight. And I mean, you're in that close to be able to get that puck elevated the way he did was pretty skillful.
Right, yeah, great touch on that, and credit to Yarmolnik. I mean, he was highly involved tonight and ended up getting a couple of assists as well.
Yeah, so that goal, the first goal again was Gibbs his first from Riddle and Yarmolnik at 3:05. That A.J. Reed his second from Ryder and Yarmolnik at 3:18, so 13 seconds apart. Stayed that way until the final minute of the period, and I'm going to say, Jason, you kind of cursed it because you were the one who said, very critical juncture here, and I said, don't do anything stupid, just get to the locker room, the 2-goal lead. Well, lose a face-off, and here you go.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was a really tough time to give up a goal and took what was a very comfortable game at that point and suddenly turned it very uncomfortable. Gave the Royals all the momentum they needed coming into the third period, knowing that they were just one shot away after this puck ended up in the back of the net.
Yeah, it was Logan Anderson getting credit for the goal, his first. The assists were to what's his first name? Joe Westland and Peyton Blair. That made it a 2-1 game with just 42 seconds left in the period, so the tension kind of ramped up a little bit there. Then early in the third period, the Yellow Jackets were able to get that 2-goal lead back, and this is a really nice play by Blake Setter because he started it by holding the puck in the zone up at the right point, right on the boards there, poked it down the wall, and then he won the race to the puck. And a little bit of maneuvering down low, and then he actually got it in front and wired a wrister up top. I mean, a really great shot from between the circles. That beats the goaltender Deronio up high. Do we have that one, Gus? All right, let's let that one roll. Gonna have to tell them not to put the ice mics right below the goal horn because, man, that was loud. I'm glad they fixed the goal horn because it has a little more oomph to it this year than it did last year. But, yeah, we don't want to put the mic down there anymore because that was really, really loud in my ear. But at any rate, Blake Setter's first. That came at 4:47 of the period. Kate Shea and Chris Ishmael the assists. Jackets get the 3-1 lead back. Then 4 minutes to go. They yank the goaltender. What did I miss? Oh, you're playing with the camera. Got it. Okay. So 4 minutes.
It's not Teddy, it's him.
Yeah, no, and Teddy's probably on his way up here too. But at any rate, 4 minutes to go. Bethel gets the goaltender out, and they are able to capitalize with the extra attacker.
Right, yeah, they had some extended opportunities there with the goaltender pulled, and good shot from the point here and a nice redirect from right alongside. Ends up tightening this game up and making for a exciting.
Yeah, it made for a furious finish. That is for sure. Joe Westland got the goal. That his second of the year at 16:59. The assist going to Brusini and Spencer Kring, and that makes it a 3-2 game. Yellow Jackets were pinned in their own zone for a while there too. A couple times we were going, they got to make a change. We need to get these guys off. We need to no, not everybody. Let's keep a couple of guys back out here. But then Cade Shea with the defensive play of the game, knocking that pass out of the air and getting it out of the zone.
Right, good stick in the lane, and in that case, it was a stick in the aerial lane to be able to deflect that would-be pass cross ice there, and really that play ended up getting rid of whatever time was left on the clock, essentially. So a huge play for the Yellow Jackets to be able to close it out tonight.
Shots on goal in the third period. The Yellow Jackets had 9 for a game total of 33, while Bethel had 15 for a game total of 32.
Yeah, they came on strong in the third.
Penalties in the game tonight, each team taking 5 for 10 minutes, none of those in the third period. Each team going 0 for 3 on the power play. We talked about that during the second intermission. 7 power play shots for the Yellow Jackets to just 1 for Bethel. PK was fantastic.
Yep, terrific penalty kill for the Yellow Jackets all night long tonight. And it really gave the team momentum when they needed it, and helped them know that they could play right on the edge and know that their killers were going to be able to kill the penalties off if they ended up going over the edge just a little bit.
Jan Skorpic finishes the night with 30 saves this evening, his record improving to 3-0 on the season, and I imagine he will be the number 1 star later on in this postgame show. On the other side, Marco Doronio made 30 saves as well for Bethel, and his record on the season falls to 0-2. With the win tonight, the Jackets now 3-1-1 on the campaign, while Bethel will dip below 500 at 2-3. And with that, let's welcome Brian Meisner to the broadcast.
Thank you. Sorry, I got up
That's all right.
Gotta unmute you first.
Am I on?
There you're on.
That sounds good.
There we
Apologize if I got here too early or too late.
No, that's
all good.
Fine.
So I'm just standing here and enjoying your commentary.
Playing with the camera. And
No, I was trying to hide behind you.
All right, I got the first one tonight.
All right, beautiful.
Last night you talked about gap control.
Yeah.
And that's obviously something in the defensive zone, but really it can start even in the offensive zone in terms of not sagging too early, and certainly through the neutral zone, not sagging too early. And tonight, it looked like that message came through loud and clear. From my perspective, it looked like the gap control in every zone was much improved tonight.
Yeah, our gaps always start in the offensive blue line. That's where the gaps start. So, but you're right. We can't sag in the defensive zone either. But it starts with a good. So we went back last night. You asked me. I remember last night. What can we do? Like, how do we? I can't remember how you guys put it exactly, but how do you respond to that loss last night? And so we watched the first period together last night. Rich and I and John Feely, and it was very telling to us. Our forecheck. It was really our F2 on the forecheck was really passive last night, and tonight. He was more aggressive, and that allows our F3 guy to be in better position. So instead of two forwards backing up out of the zone, which our D is like, all right, who do I take? Who's taking who? There goes our gap, right? So now we have just one forward, that F3, the high guy, now allows our D to recognize, okay, tell the forward where we want him to go, and then we can play up on the rush, right? So that's why our gap, I think, was better tonight too, and I agree. We were more aggressive. Rich talked about shooting the puck. We did a lot better job of that tonight than last night. Talked about going that we were so perimeter last night. You guys probably saw it a million times compared to tonight, right? I mean, it was night and day, at least from our eyes. I don't know what it looks like
absolutely.
from up here.
Night and day. There were some times that Daniel Roosevelt forced pucks to the net where it was like message received. Even if it wasn't going to be like a glorious A1 chance, he got the message and forced it to the net, didn't stay on the perimeter, and that created some second chance opportunities.
And that's what we want to do, and that's exactly right. So I'm glad you noticed that, because we're trying to get away from being a team that's one and done. We're one shot, into his gut, into his glove. It just kills momentum. So we're trying to be, and that's where we're kind of in between. I think you saw last night where we want to build up our O-zone because we want to not just throw it at his glove, but then we're turning away shots that are there, so we're walking that fine line. Tonight we got better at it. Coach put a big emphasis on that at the morning meeting, getting pucks and bodies to the net, and then winning those battles in front of the net. So we did a better job of that tonight.
And I think when you talk about the gap control too, I mentioned going back to the Marion game, how much I loved your transition, because they would clear and boom, it was right back in their zone. And we started to see some of that tonight where you weren't giving them the red line. You were standing them up and forcing it right back in. 100%. We hadn't seen that since day one.
I know, I agree. And that's exactly right. It's one thing I'm trying to get our D to do. Again, it's going to be in conjunction with the forwards doing their job. If they're not doing their job like last night, it makes it harder, but maybe that's just an excuse, but we can't, No,
it's a full team effort. I mean, you can't tell the defensemen to be more aggressive and tighten the gaps if they can't trust the forwards to be able to put pressure on the players. So
exactly. And I told, we watched tape from last year. We watched tape at the beginning of this year, even from the scrimmage we had against Scholastica. And we just give up the red line, in my opinion, too much when we have numbers. So if we've got 3 guys back, 4 guys back, I want our D to make them dump it at the red or get an icing call. And that's going to be our goal. So I don't know if you remember 4 or 5 years ago, we played point here, end of the season. I think they got like 20 shots, 18 shots, and we beat them all night long. Our D were up at the red. They had no offense, and you can really hem in a good offensive team, like a fast team. Like Bethel's not slow; they're a good.
Right, they got some. Yeah, they're quick.
And so they started stretching on us. That kind of hampers that a little bit, but we handled it pretty well. So yeah, I was very happy.
The other thing that we talked about more than once tonight is how happy your defense were to jump up tonight.
Yeah.
They were happy to jump up in the rush. They were happy to lead the forecheck. I mean, even Liam Whitehouse, who's not an offensively inclined defenseman, he was down there. He was taking pucks to the net. He was on the forecheck, and that was something we haven't necessarily seen every game either. All 6 of your defensemen tonight did not hesitate to jump up.
Correct. And I remember like 4 minutes to go, 5 minutes, Rich is yelling down, D, stay back. Like we don't need you right now. So, I mean, there's that fine line too. But you're right. Our thing is either you're going to get up there. If you're not used, you're out. So we call it use them or lose them, right? So D, join the rush. If it's not there, you're out. We don't want you forechecking necessarily in the corner. I mean, it happened. I think Matt Danzinger's been playing unbelievable this year on both sides of the rink. So, But yeah.
And there were a few times where it did happen that the defenseman got down that low, and the forwards did a nice job. One of the forwards was like, okay, I recognize it. They come up and play that role and do what they can to cover that and create layers like you need. So.
Yeah, we just don't want to get stuck down there.
Right.
We want to play defense first. Like, we want to work from our net out, and it's opposite of what I was just telling you about the gaps.
Right.
Work from the offensive blue line. But honestly, we take care of our end and just the neutral zone, and then we're going to be fine. So that's what we're trying to do.
It's the frustrating piece because now you go back to these guys and go, we know you can play this way.
Well,
we know you guys can bring it. And it wasn't a perfect game by any means, but
we had a good response.
You had a really good response, and now you're going in a very positive direction into conference play.
100%. And I think it all started with Rich's interview with you before the game. According to Rich, like he said it was one of his best.
It was an all-timer.
Yeah. But no, you're right. We had a lot of good response. Rich mentioned that, and all the coaches after the game were like, "Okay, this is what we can do. Now we got to bring it every night." Was it Herb Brooks, right? Don't tell me what you can't do. Tell me what you can do. And now it's our job to get that out of them. Like, okay, we saw that. Now let's build from that. And I think that's kind of what our message was this morning to the guys is, just because we tweak something doesn't mean we forget the other parts of our game. We got to build on our game. Like, we're not even close to where we're going to be in 2 months. So, anyway, it's a good start.
Good game tonight. Great answer. So, thanks a lot, Mouse.
You guys did a great job, too.
Honestly, I did, but thank you.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I had a rough one tonight. I made a mistake, but it's okay.
All right, well, thank you, guys.
I paid for it on air.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Mouse. It's Yellow Jacket assistant coach Brian Meisner. And we'll take a quick timeout, and we will come back and wrap this one up from Westman Arena right after this. Yellow Jackets defeat Bethel 3-2. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. Final segment of the postgame show sponsored by Synovus Energy and the Superior Refinery. And it comes following a Yellow Jacket 1-goal win tonight, 3-2 over Bethel here at Westman Arena. Elsewhere around the WIAC, River Falls has defeated Concordia by a 2-1 margin. UW Eau Claire and Augsburg skated to a 2-2 tie. No clue what happened in the shootout there. Stout blew it open in the third period, and now they're leading, or they defeated that. It says 13:07 left, but the game is over 6-2. They defeated St. John's. That was a 2-1 game at one point.
Oh, great weekend for Stout.
So Stout with 14 goals in 2 games, and then Beloit and Hiram tying 3-3 earlier this afternoon, and that is everything around the WIAC. And I unfortunately closed my document that had the Division I scores on it, so we'll just go ahead and pass by those ones and get right down to our post-game show 3 stars. Who do you got?
Yeah, it's getting late. We'll go to the 3 stars. So third star tonight is Bethel junior forward Joe Westland. He had 1 assist and also had the 1 goal late on the redirect from the point shot that made it a 3-2 game. So a huge goal for Bethel, tightened things up there in the third period and gave them a chance to be within 1 shot and almost tie that thing up in the late stages. So solid game by Westland.
Okay, Joe Westland, number 3. Who's number 2?
This one's tough because there were definitely some honorable mention candidates for UWS tonight. I mean, Daniel Roosevelt played a really strong game. I mean, there's a lot of guys you could mention, but I want to go with UWS sophomore forward Blake Sutter for the 1 goal. I mean, obviously, game-winning goal. It was a big one. He was involved throughout the night. We were really impressed with the way he got off a couple of quick shots, and the second one ended up going in, and he didn't even realize it went in until the net started to move. But huge goal for the Yellow Jackets, and a timely goal they really needed to be able to hang on and win this crucial game.
Okay. And number 1?
As you suspected, UWS goalie Jan Skorpik with the 30 saves. Did allow 2 goals, but it really kind of hides the fact that, I mean, he was fantastic tonight. I mean, usually it's like, oh, the goalie gets a shutout, so then he can get one of the 3 stars or be the first star. I mean, he was excellent and made a number of big saves, timely saves, tough saves. Was really everything the Jackets needed tonight, and they needed him.
So number 3 star Joe Westland from Bethel, number 2 Blake Setter, and the number 1 star Yellow Jackets senior goaltender Jan Skorpik. Yellow Jackets back on the road next Friday night as they will travel down to the Hobbs Ice Arena in Eau Claire to take on the Blue Golds. A 7 o'clock face-off, 6:30 pregame show right here on 91.3 KUWS. And then they'll be back home here at Westman Arena on Saturday night to take on UW Stevens Point. 7:05 face-off, 6:30 pregame, and you'll be able to listen to that on KUWS or watch it on Yellow Jacket TV. So that is a very large weekend looming for the Yellow Jackets here. It does not get any easier, as we've mentioned, and savor the flavor of this one tonight because it's going to be 2 rugged matches next weekend, beginning with Friday night at UW Eau Claire. The Gus Bus was our engineer back in the studio at KUWS. Bradley Lillis was the one pushing all the buttons up here in the booth at Westman Arena for Yellow Jacket TV. For the Gus Bus, for Bradley, for Jason Roan, for Abby Hoffman, I am John Garver saying so long from Westman Arena. Final score here tonight, the Yellow Jackets back in the win column with a 3-2 win over Bethel. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday night, and we look forward to having you again next weekend when the Yellow Jackets hit the road to Eau Claire. Good night from Superior, Wisconsin. What's that? Nope, I got her.